Good evening. Just had the message come up to say that we're actually live. Strangely enough, I feel half dead, but we are live. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Unicorn. Unicorn was here first. Little Unicorn, or Lil Unicorn. And hi, Lynn. And hi, anyone else or everyone else who is here. I thought I'd sort of dip my toe back into the whole live thing. Been about 4 weeks or so, or 4 weeks on Tuesday. I was inspired through watching some videos today and yesterday, particularly because things seem to be ramping up a bit in terms of support. And I watched, the most recent one I watched was Carl's video in which he shows Jeff Banks doing a piece to camera, which I hadn't seen. I had heard that Jeff Banks had spoken about it. Hi, Yelda, good to see you. Yeah, I'd heard that Jeff Banks had spoken about it, but I hadn't seen the full bit to camera that he did. And obviously he's been following it really closely, and that's fantastic. And then we've got this is what Carl covered in the video that I watched just a little bit earlier. We've got the report in the Star newspaper. I kind of came across it through something called Yorkshire Live, which did a kind of a summary of what was in the Star, the Star article, if any of you have seen that. That's the idea, a lot more people are getting on board, as it were, the idea of celebrities, well-known people. I think other names mentioned, which I think we're aware of, would be Esther Ranson, Peter Andre. I think I'd heard of that. I wasn't sure if that was a new thing to me, but that's great. I always liked Peter Andre. I thought seems like a nice guy, doesn't he? And going back quite a bit, some time ago, from the sort of journalistic, political sphere, Owen Jones. I remember he was very supportive of the idea that it was an unsafe conviction, and David Curtin, obviously, right from the very beginning as well. So, hi everybody. Yeah, I've just made some tea. I had a bit of a funny turn in the kitchen, actually, when I was just getting my tea. Oh, Sword of Reason. Oh, hi, Deborah. And hi, Sword of Reason. And hi, Deborah. Peter Andre, thank you. Yeah, I'm sure, yeah. That's good, that is, isn't it? And because it is from such a wide, I think this is the point that Carl makes in the video, that it's from quite a disparate range of people from different backgrounds. We got music, we got the fashion world, essentially, Jeff Banks. Hi, Sarah Mills. Nice to see you. I've received notification of live chat. Oh, fantastic. Thanks for joining us. I think I said hi, Yelda, as well. Hi, Deborah. If anybody wishes to talk as well on the screen, I'm just going to put the invite here. Hi, Clara. Lovely. I was just going on to say about your videos as well that I've been watching, which are fantastic as well. So this is kind of what has inspired me to dip my toe back into, thought of do a little live thing, perhaps not too long. Hi, Tim. Good to see you. Yeah, that was fantastic as well. I'll just try to keep up with the comments. I'm okay, thank you. I had a bit of a funny turn in the kitchen. I might mention that in a minute. A bit of a pulse racing thing I used to get, but so many things to think about can cause a funny turn. Oh, sorry, you're referring to that. Well, yeah, no, I used to get this sort of thing where I feel like I was going to fall over, but I didn't fall over luckily, because I had my tea in my hand. That would have been a disaster. Oh, that's great, Sarah. Thank you. And I hope you're doing well there, Clara, as well. And just to say to everyone, I hope you don't mind, Clara. I mean, So I've been mentioning, no, 12 hours. That's yeah, 12 minutes. I think I can do 12 minutes. I'll tell you there's another reason for that as well, but hopefully it's not too dull. But I might go into that in a minute. I'm on medication as I speak. What was I going to say there? Yeah. So I watched Carl's video, and I've watched lots of other videos that have been coming up. Obviously, Chris's ones and Stuart ones, and the one that Tim mentions there, the interview with Michelle Warden. It was very revealing and very powerful. But Clara's been doing some videos on a consortium of misfits, and so has Tim. So that I put a link there to. That's part 1 of 3, which is a statement analysis of Ravi Jayaram's interview with Paul Brand, isn't it? I think it's Paul Brand, which I think they used to share the same agent before the agent no longer decided, or it was a mutual decision, whatever the reason for it was. But I don't know if he was dropped by them, or I'm talking about Dr. Jayaram, Ravi Jayaram used to have the same agent as Paul Brand, and they did that interview together. Hi Keith, good to see you there. Yeah, I've had a few health things going on, but I might go into that. But that link I just put up there is like, I've watched the first 2 parts of Clara's statement analysis of Dr. Jayaram's interview. There's 2 interviews that are being covered up, and there's another part I've got to watch, but that's fascinating as well. And then I also watched Tim's video, and this is all these ones I'm talking about are on the channel called A Consortium of Misfits. So I really recommend those. And a lot of people might know all this, but I just thought I'd sort of say it just in case. And also, I'm not sure that, I don't know, which one did I put there? Let me just check that a minute. 14. Yeah, so this is, yeah, that was Clara's one. Yeah, 14S. That was Clara's one. I hope you're doing well, Keith, as well. And this is Tim's one that was very powerfully said, about betrayal being the operative word and action in respect of Lucy Letby, the betrayal of her. Hi, Gimme Hendricks, that's fantastic. Good to see you. I've got to remember to put the I'm on these antibiotics, so I'm slightly altered. But I didn't fall over in the kitchen, but I had this weird heart thing going. Anyway. Oh yes, so Little Unicorn says, couldn't find part 1. I've just put up part 1 as a link. It's the first link I put up there. Little Unicorn, that's part 1. And the second link is Tim's video. And oh, hi Richard, lovely to see you as well. God, there are lots of we're all sort of gathering, and it's lovely. So I'm dipping my toe back into this a bit, and I'm just going to have a bit of tea if you don't mind. Another channel which I'd like to draw people's attention to, and my attention was drawn to it very kindly by Bernie Rowlands, who you'll know, who is great and does many comments, fantastic guy, Bernie Rowlands. And he mentioned this channel. Well, it says BB. The channel's called BB, but it's actually, I mean, that's the @ thing, but it's prefrontal cortex. Cortex spelt. What I'll do is I'll put the link. I'll put the link here now. So this is a channel. That's quite a recent channel, and that's some really interesting videos and really well presented, looking at different aspects, and it's quite a new channel. And I think they've put out about 5 or 6 videos, and it's really well, they're really well done. I watched a few of those, so but thanks to Bernie for those. Hi, Chariots of Wire, good to see you. Well, the articles. Yeah, let me look for the star one. Is that behind a paywall though? Let's have a look. I mean, I on my posts, I'll have to have a look for that. Oh no, I think it's here. So Chariots of Wire. So this is the star one, and I'd heard about it. I was saying a little bit earlier. I'd heard about it through kind of a write-up on Yorkshire Live. Hi, Bren. Good to see you. Sorry if I'm missing anybody. It's not intentional. So Chariots of Wire. Yeah, I've put the link down there for the star one. And have I put the link yet for prefrontal cortex? Yeah. So the link I put there as well. I'll just put it on the screen. That's this channel called Prefrontal Cortex that Bernie Rowland's told me about, and that's really good. It's, in the last 2 or 3 weeks doing really good videos. So combination of all these things, and Black Squareable's videos, and obviously before that, more recently, Jenny's ones and Chris's ones, obviously as an ongoing thing all the time, and Carl's one today, Black Squareable, and the ones that Clara and Tim have been doing on a consortium of misfits. So it's kind of G'd me up a bit. And this thing about, Lucy Letby, obviously, it's like a snowball, isn't it? It's going to, the support's going to, well, snowball. It is snowballing, I think. Hi, Bren. Let me see. I'll try to catch up with everything. There's a stark contrast between the robust defence in one case and the feeble style in the other case. Which of the two cases? The robust. Could you expand on that a bit, please, Tim? Between the two cases, you mean cases within the case? Is that right? Sorry if I'm a bit slow tonight. I'm on tablets. I'm on my tablets. But I thought I wanted to sort of check in, as it were, because of these things that are happening. Oh, I'll put the link. Oh, let me do it properly. This is the link to invite guests onto the screen, but only if you want to come, And if you do want to come, you could just oh, and the other video I was seeing was by Callie, Solomon Sounds. There's some really excellent videos there as well. There was another more recent one I listened to. So there's lots going on, isn't there? It's still, it hasn't dipped really. Hi Liz, cup of tea with poetry. Hi Liz, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Oh, Vet Dad Plays. I started following you as also named Mark Mays. Oh, your name is Mark Mays, is it? That's extraordinary. Well, hello Mark Mays. Great. Yeah. Well, good to see you. Yeah. That's amazing, isn't it? It's not a super common name. I mean, it's not. I've looked it up before, and there are a few around. I think there's one who's a personal trainer, and well, there's probably loads in there. It's funny when you see people with exactly the same name, isn't it? I've saved part 1 to watch tomorrow. Yeah, I've got part 3 to watch. Speaking now about Clara's 3-part statement analysis of Dr. Ravi Jayaram's 2 interviews, I think it is, I can't remember now if they're both with Paul Brand, but I think they're on two separate occasions. But one of them was certainly with Paul Brand, his former stablemate in the entertainment agency that both used to represent them. I don't know why I'm making that point again. Maybe it's not that relevant, but or is it? I don't know. Is it relevant? There's lots of connections with things, and people are making more connections all the time. You know, people on Twitter, people like Debbie Kennett and other people looking into. Northern Lass does a lot of that type of thing as well. Frankie and Rosie. These are accounts on Twitter that really kind of looking for connections behind the scenes, as it were. Oh, I see that Professor Gill. I'll just read Deborah's comment. Neither the staff nor the prisoners have swallowed a more. Yeah, this is a great point, Deborah. The multi-murder story, and that's very comforting in a sense, or certainly for Lucy there, but also I think for us in the sense that she's not in. I don't think she's been in danger, because I think people around her. I'm not saying there couldn't be someone who is oppositional or problematic there, but it seems as though that both the staff, and this is what was said in the article that Carl covered in his video today, that both the staff and the other prisoners, there's no one there that believes that Lucy Letby is guilty. Hi, Mumbland from Swansea. Oh gosh, sorry. Yes, of course. No, absolutely. I think when I'm always going to forget. So, I was doing the more recent ones that I've seen in this last week, basically. But Peter Elston's 2 videos looking at all the data is absolutely exceptional and brilliant. And then if we go back in time, it's just obviously yourself, Richard, and Peter Hayes. There's so many people. It's just so. Oh, there's an amazing one that I'm just going to say again that I'm just talking about the very recent ones I've watched. So Ida Dunmore did, which is the ducking stool. Check that out. It's amazing sort of creative editing. Anyway, I'm just going to invite Professor Richard Gill to the stage now.
Oh.
There wow. We are. Good to see you. Good to see you,
oh
Richard.
My God.
Nice to see you.
I'm on my second glass of very nice red wine.
Oh, lovely. What kind of what is it?
It's interesting.
Yes.
I can recommend this, but I don't know if you can get it in England.
So this is
it's a Valpolicella, but it's a Valpolicella Ripasso, which I had to Google to find out what that meant. And that means, it means they make a different Valpolicella. And after the Valpolicella is made, there is still some mush of grape skins and stuff left.
Oh,
and then they tuck that into a new brew. And that's what the ripasso means. It's kind of like reheated or...
Oh, I see. Is it suggestive that it has certain qualities because of that in some way?
Yeah. So according to Google, it has extra flavors and better. I mean, according to what I read about what ripasso means, so it's only been invented fairly recently. So it's like, a modern technique which modern wine engineers have discovered recently. And,
yes.
And it makes the wine more expensive, but not that much more expensive. and it does make it very good, I must say.
Oh, that's marvelous. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying a nice glass.
More alcoholic, but more richer flavors.
Oh, sure. Yes, absolutely. It's the complexities of the flavors, I guess. And
that's worth it. But the alcohol is fairly high. So after one glass, I don't really take much notice of the flavors anymore.
Yeah. Yes. I was trying to think of in the German wines, they have something called Spätlese or something.
Oh, Spätlese.
Yeah.
Rather sweet one. but rather special. Yeah.
Yes, I remember going to Bavaria when I was quite a bit younger. It's beautiful to see the wine hills,
Yes. Oh, and
along
they
the
have
rivers.
something called ice wine
I've
in
heard of
Germany.
that. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had it or not,
Well,
but
that's
ice.
wine made from grapes, which actually have got sort of shriveled up in after the first frost,
Ah,
and so
interesting.
they're actually picked from the grapes from the vines after sort of normally they would be past it, but they're not past it too far. They have a much higher sugar concentration,
That's really
and
interesting. That's interesting because
and
there's a yeah,
they've been ripening in the vineyards for
yeah.
longer. So they've been gaining in subtle flavors of the terroir, as they say, you know,
Oh,
as
marvelous. You're you're really making me think of wine again because I've not had anything to drink for
yeah,
about
and you'll
4
learn
weeks.
some other stuff. So shouldn't mix your
Well, I'm just having some tea and I've got some
Oh,
squash here. I've got some
okay. But you said
squash.
you were having some medicines as well, or something.
Oh yes, I'm having some. What do they call it now? Oh, it's an antibiotic. It's one of the
Mm,
main ones. I've forgotten what it's called. Anyway, they give me
yeah,
they've got 3,000 milligrams a day, which sounds a lot, doesn't it? Anyway.
right. Yeah, you shouldn't drink alcohol while having antibiotics.
Oh, hi. I'll try to keep up. Yes, absolutely,
Yeah,
Richard. Yeah, I'm not having that,
no,
but I'm trying to leave off it for
yeah,
now anyway. But hi, Kaz. Good to see you there. The Hillsborough disaster. Oh, sorry, the Hillsborough disaster versus Lucy Letby. Was that the two cases?
yeah. Those were the two Myers cases.
Oh, they're the
He was
Myers
defending a
cases.
policeman or a policeman.
Yes, that's right. So
Managed
and
to
I
get
can't.
them off.
I was just that was going to be my next question. I couldn't remember what the outcome was. He got
Yeah,
the officer, the high up officer of the who was heading
that's
the
right.
on the day. I can't remember his name,
Yeah.
but maybe.
So he managed to do a good job in a cover up of institutional failing, making sure that
Oh,
nobody got the blame. Right. So maybe
yes. I
it's
mean,
wrong kind of guy for Lucy Letby case.
well, there has been some people asking questions. I know there was yeah, there was a video. It was mentioned by sorry, I can't remember who mentioned it, but it was a bit earlier in the chat. The
Mm,
video that Stuart Gillam did. He's been doing a series of. He's
yeah.
broken up an interview with Michelle Ward and into separate
Yeah.
parts. It looks like, and some really interesting things are coming out there.
Hmm. I
I
still
don't
have
know.
to watch that.
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, it's always it's very. I mean, the most recent one was in relation to the overtures or attempts that Michelle Warden made to
Mm.
both Richard Thomas, I think was the name of the solicitor,
Yeah,
and
Richard Thomas.
and also to Ben Myers, but was basically ghosted. You know.
Yeah. Well, sorry to Adamson. I also approached Thomas and
Yes.
Myers, and they couldn't do anything with what we said and didn't want to. And because they were too slavishly following the rules.
Oh, I see. I'm
I
just yeah.
think. I think. I
That's
mean,
really
there is a point that you should not get a judge angry. And so if you want to bring in new evidence halfway through, hi.
Hi, how are you
Hi.
doing?
Yeah.
just to say, welcoming Simone to the
Hi.
screen, and thanks very much for coming on, Simone. And I hope you're well.
All right. I saw Richard was on there, and I was like, I'll join and say hello.
Fantastic,
Cheers.
lovely to see you. Cheers, and I hope you're having a good weekend there and
I
good
am, thank you.
Sunday.
I was ironing at the time, and I was like, oh, Mark's doing a live. I'll join.
Yeah, I just thought because of this concentration of things that have come up and this, I was saying earlier on. I don't know if you both heard, but I watched Carl's video and he was talking about the article in the Start and Jeff Banks's.
Yeah,
The,
I was just listening to that about half an hour ago, and it was quite interesting because I used to work for the company that made
oh gosh,
many years ago. quite a long time ago.
Oh, I
But it was
see.
interesting actually hearing somebody like that to be taking an interest.
Well, it is, isn't it? And it really shows this kind of this breadth of support that is growing. It seems to be
Yeah.
from different people from different kinds of backgrounds in the media and so forth. And I think that's all to the good. Would you both agree with that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's absolutely what's needed.
And we
What has
were
to happen.
actually in Chester 2 weeks ago. I think Jenny mentioned something about it, but we were over there, and unfortunately, the building, the neonatal unit it was half demolished when we were there, and I think it's been properly demolished now. It's just criminal, isn't it?
It is. It is. I know in Jenny's videos before recently, she'd been mentioning Tony and also Ian, giving
Yeah,
lots of information about some of the background to do with the hospital.
yeah, we've
And
given her quite a lot of information actually, and I think on
yeah,
the back of your previous live, Mark, I think she's really grateful for things that Tony were telling her. So we've been in touch with her and sent her quite a lot of things, but obviously she's got other things on her mind at the moment, hasn't she?
absolutely. Hoping that
Mm.
Jenny's husband is much better very soon. I mean,
Yeah,
Jenny said that he was off. He was able to speak and everything. He was seeing the grandchildren, so that sounds very positive in that regard, doesn't it?
no, that's good. Yeah, because we mentioned it to Jenny because when we did go to Chester for like 2 nights, but 2 days, but we were near the hospital, so our purpose was to see how the demolition was going, and we spoke to a nurse who was coming out of work at the time, and we said to her, it's criminal that they're dismantling the building, and she said, oh, my sister was due to be born here when it first got built in 1971, I think it was, and she said she couldn't go to be born there because there was an infection at the time, which is
Wow,
really interesting. And I was
it
like,
is. It
I
is.
must tell Jenny that because even then, back then, there were issues when it was first built. So it's
Yes,
kind of
yes.
interesting, really.
There was a lovely photoshopped photo on X, and I can't remember who made it, of a huge orange sort of, excavating machine standing in the ruins of the
Criminal.
of the maternity department with Free Lucy Letby written on
Oh,
huge
really?
letters on it.
Yeah, I saw that. I think that was Guy Rowland, wasn't it? Who did
Yes,
that?
that was Guy. Really
I
lovely.
think a few people have been recently actually to see what they're doing because there's been quite a few people posting pictures up there of it. But it's criminal, isn't it, that they're just getting rid of all the evidence?
Well, it is. It is, and I think I don't know if I hallucinated this, but I think of Dr. Susan Oliver. Oh God, that's the picture of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Dr. Susan Oliver came all the way from Australia to pay a visit to Chester as well, not that
She
long
said she
ago.
did. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway,
It's one of the brand new. I think is it the Hayesgarth building or something like that? One of the brand new builds. As we went into it, and it's completely like there's nobody even there. It's just empty. There's no patients or anything, which is kind of interesting because it's a massive brand new, however many millions it cost.
Yes, I might need to take care of something here. There's an account called YT Kipples. I'm not going to take a chance on this. I'm sorry if I might have to delete this. Do you think that's wise if I don't recognize them? How can the trouble is if I put them on, then it's kind of pornography or whatever it is. I'm not saying it is, but it's how can I tell?
They probably need to send you a chat message or something in the live.
Yes, yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks
if
for
they're legit.
Sorry, YT Kibble. Sorry if I've misjudged you. If you'd like to kind of send a little message or interact a bit on the screen, and because the only reason I'm saying this is because we've had some unfortunate sort of intrusions, haven't we? Put it that way, There's some which weren't, but I'll leave it for the moment if you don't mind. But it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because you're kind of taking a chance with that.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's nice to have new people talking. But they sometimes do. They attack the stream fundamentally, and I've been a bit remiss in the past, and I'm trying to be a bit more on the ball. Richard, you're both here and in the comment, Richard. Oh, different computer. So
otherwise you would be hearing me from 3 different computers at the same time.
Well, Richard sent me.
Richard
sent me that thing, and I can't remember about the experiment that was done in a university in Holland about the a molecule affecting a molecule, a subatomic particle of about a mile away. Do you remember that?
That one. Yeah, quantum entanglement.
Quantum entanglement.
Yeah. I work in that area.
Yeah, so that's that was interesting. So I just wondered if there was I was trying to make a link between the idea. It's you from a slightly other universe there, and you're also here.
Well, it's an interesting topic about which lots of people get fascinated and obsessed by. And one of my hobbies is fighting crackpots. We call them quantum crackpots. They are typically retired gentlemen who always wanted to become a physicist, but have been a successful businessman or something. And then they get completely obsessed by Schrödinger's cat and quantum entanglement, and producing absolutely crackpot theories.
I see, yeah.
And I enjoy interacting with them because occasionally they have some good ideas as well, and they're creative, and entertaining. But they're trying to do something which is basically impossible. And on Friday, I'm being taken out to dinner by an American retired businessman who's very wealthy, who keeps sending me his new theory replacing quantum theory. And I keep telling him it's wrong, and I keep explaining to him that it's wrong. And he doesn't want to believe me, but he does want to thank me for the time I give him by treating me to a nice meal in Amsterdam. So
that's nice.
That's lovely, nice. Isn't it? That's lovely, but interesting. Interesting to see if after the meal you've changed your mind or something. I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not.
Well, he's not going to change his mind, and I'm not going to change my mind.
That's fair enough. And that's fair enough, isn't it? I'll just read this little comment from Clara here, and I watched that video too from Common Sense Guru, who did a recent video as well, which is really excellent. And these recent videos in the last week or so on the hidden connections, and Callie of Solomon Sounds also does that type of background, looking at connections, and obviously that's what Tony have been helping Jenny with as well, isn't it? In terms of previous board members of the hospital. Their names escape me just now, but they had interesting backgrounds.
Yeah, Jenny's looking into quite a few things that I think Tony mentioned to her. So but it's all collective, isn't it?
Well, it is.
We don't always have the time. We spent a lot of time, but we don't have huge amounts of time because we're working. So it's doing what you can in the time that you've got, isn't it?
Well, it is, and the thing about the Serratia, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. The colours of taken from above the unit on the roof, this reddish colour, showing that this. I don't know if it's a bacteria or is it some kind of. Does anybody know what Serratia is?
Serratia.
Well, I'm going to Google. This is something. It's a gram-negative bacteria. And apparently it shows up as a red tinge, and apparently from sort of a view of the unit from above. And I can't remember. Did this come from Tony, Simone, or did it? It might have done. I think it.
Not sure.
Yeah, well, it came from some source that Jenny got hold of.
Okay.
And it was the idea that, well, is that also involved as a potential pathogen and problematic issue in the hospital as a whole.
There are lots of red things which grow on roofs, I mean, that's not so unusual.
Yes, I'm not sure whether Jenny had gone to some of the reports and had found that Seratia had been reported. I'd have to.
It's kind of interesting because Carl was saying earlier there about crime scene to courtrooms gone quiet on the reporting on the Lucy stuff, but I once I joined a live chat thing with him once, and I told him he was really biased. he was like really singled me out. He was like, "Oh, Simone Bookbinder, you think this, do you?" It's like, yeah, the way you're speaking does sound like you're biased, and he was like, really took offence to it, and he hasn't done much since then.
Did he? Were you actually on the screen, or were you like?
No, I just was on the chat thing, and he kept going back to the comments and things. But
gosh,
he's terrible. I mean, he's kind of all right on some things, but on the Lucy stuff, he was awful.
Yeah, I used to listen to, because the other big thing that he'd looked into was the case of these multiple murders in a Land Rover back in the 1980s, I think it was.
Like the Essex boys.
The Essex boys murders. Yeah, that was his main focus as far as I could tell.
Well, I did actually write to Matt McDonald, and I wrote to David Davis about the building and trying to get it stopped, but I didn't get a response from either of them. So I did send a copy to 19 Nurses, and she said she was going to send a copy to Roger Norwich as well, because we know Roger. So I think he was, because I think he's got contact with Matt McDonald. So obviously it's tricky to stop anything like that, because I think it was instigated by the NHS anyway.
Hey, there's Mervyn.
Oh, there's Mervyn there as well. Yeah, no, that's absolutely Simone, and you know, in the fullness of time, there's going to be medical negligence investigations that are going to probably last years and years, aren't there? And had that building still been left intact, as it were, as a scene of the medical failures, as it were, and the environmental issues, that would have been better. But they're kind of covering it up before,
definitely,
before anybody can. I'll try to keep up with it. She's the most dangerous women. Oh, she's in the most dangerous women's prison in Britain, Bronzefield. So, but she has been, if there had been anything horrible that had happened, it would have been reported. So that there obviously hasn't been. But I'm hoping that she's got people there among the other inmates that are kind of protecting her and believe in her. I would hope so, and staff.
I'm sure there are.
I think there are as well.
Carl was saying in the video, and other people have said too. Like, everybody there knows she's innocent.
Yeah.
Both jailers and inmates, and of course, some of the inmates are evil, crazy people, but not all of them.
I think the problem is that people are too busy to read up about it all, and it's because it's like a while ago. They don't have the time, do they? And can't be bothered a lot of time. Because I've got a friend, and I've explained some things to her, and she actually messaged me a few months back and said, "I believe Lucy's innocent," and I was like, "Thank goodness for that." Just share the word, don't you? I did actually put with somebody did some stickers on some labels that said "Free Lucy Letby," and they were one of the normal pictures, and I actually stuck one on one of the telephone boxes where a lot of people walk, and it's still there.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah,
it's quite a busy throughput of people going past it, so I thought, you just don't know, do you? I'm not one for defacing things normally, but when it's to do with that.
No, I think that's definitely in a very good cause.
Nice bottle of wine there, Richard.
Yeah,
a very good cause. And
I was talking about it a while ago.
I've got coffee.
It's very nice.
Tea.
There, you can see it again.
Looks like a
Valpolicella ripasso, which kind of means sort of like a what's the word when you
repressed, repressed, as opposed to repressed.
I was thinking of the words when you something an existing pop song. What's that called?
Oh, say that again. Sorry.
Remixed.
A remixed, yes. So basically, it's
remixed.
Valpolicella remixed.
I've got another gentleman, Mason Johnson, who'd like to speak, but again, Mason, would you mind sort of? I feel a bit mean doing this, but perhaps I'll just take a chance, shall I, and just see what happens? Because I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Nothing against you, Mason. If you're absolutely legit, I'm just a bit nervous. But anyway, yeah, okay. So I was.
Right.
This is why we said be safe. Be safe.
Yeah, so it doesn't really.
Well, that wasn't too bad. I mean, you had worse.
Kick from studio, kick guest. It says that's the phrase, kick guest. So thanks for that input. That was really great, wasn't it? David Duckenfield. Hi, Justin. Hi. Sorry if I've missed anybody. Can you talk about Jim McConville, if possible?
Is that Michael McConville is referring?
Is that Michael McConville?
Probably.
Yeah. So Michael McConville, he's still on Twitter, and I do see him make some comments now and again. I mean, he's been
in the news recently, hasn't he?
Has he? I didn't.
It was in. I forget all the details, but it was to do with something that he was accused of, but it is totally
COVID vaccination or something like that.
Yeah, it was to do with the COVID vaccine.
He had issues with the COVID vaccines, that they were introduced much too fast. Of course, he's right. But you're not allowed to say that.
So is it...
they were introduced fast. Maybe that was a good thing and maybe it was a bad thing, and we'll only know years later.
Well, I mean, absolutely.
It was on a program recently as well, I think, talking about it, and that was quite interesting because I think a reporter tried to interview him after the case, and he said he had a bus to catch. So that was
when you say Simone, the case and everything, is it like a case in terms of like the GMC or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's the GMC.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm getting some other people with names at John R. Buck. See, I don't know. I might as well. I think I'll play it safe tonight.
Take it easy.
Sorry, I'm sorry, John, if I've misjudged you, but perhaps it's better to be safe, isn't it, at the moment?
Ask them to send you an email introducing themselves a bit or something.
I don't really do emails much these days, but I asked the other people if they could say something in the chat, and they declined. So maybe that was a sign of that.
Some strange people have got nothing better to do on a Sunday evening.
Yeah, and I suppose the format of this is, I don't know how unusual it is, but it's open, isn't it? Essentially, it's kind of open, and
it's a lovely thing.
So Clara, I hope Dr. McConville's doing all right. I think he's a great man, a great guy, isn't he? And his series of podcasts first of all with Peter Alston, and then on his own, were just magnificent, weren't they?
They're so interesting because even when you listen to them over again, you hear new things, don't you? Because when they're coming out, you're trying to keep up with them all. I think there were about 100.
Yep.
Yeah, there were a lot, especially if you put both the series together, wasn't there? And then obviously, has Amanda Knox come to the end of her series? I think she's come to the end of the series about
any new ones coming. I think
no.
She did the trip to London.
No, but there have been some more interviews with her, and where she's talking about.
Yeah, you did one, didn't you, Richard?
What, pardon?
You did an interview with her, didn't you? Did you do an interview? Yeah. That would have heard it.
Oh, she interviewed me. Yeah. That was nice.
Did you actually meet her? Meet Amanda, Richard?
Not in person, no.
Not in person. It was like through the computer and everything.
Yeah, but I mean, there was. So she did. There was like an interview recorded, but we had a previous like Zoom chat to discuss what we would talk about and things like that. So that was interesting, because I have previously studied that case in great detail, her case. I used it in teaching students forensic statistics and reasoning with uncertainty and so on. And so
I see.
we like read everything there was to read about that case. And I know that there's no proof she's guilty. I know the police completely screwed up the investigation and basically screwed up the opportunity to find out who had done it. And it is probably likely that what's his name, Gueda,
Rudy
did it on his own.
Yeah.
But
Right,
I mean, there's some odd things. There's always some odd things. There's like glass from a broken window, which seems to be on the wrong side of the window.
Yes, which suggested some. I remember
like these little things. So
little
I couldn't say, having studied the case, that I'm certain she was innocent. So it was a bit odd talking to her, because I kind of had to say that, and that was a bit uncomfortable for a moment. But having spoken to her, I'm absolutely certain she's innocent, and the way she is dealing with what she experienced is absolutely splendid. And she is rather intelligent and forceful, so many people find that suspicious in itself, right? And suspect that she's trying to make money out of it now. I don't think she particularly is, but she comes from a wealthy Seattle family, so she has huge resources behind her, and these are used by people to say negative things about her and not trust her. That's sad, but that's how things are.
Richard, did you have a chance to look into that the Denmark nurse?
The Denmark nurse, yes. I didn't. Well, I got so far that I actually managed to get hold of the statistical analysis which a colleague of mine had done, which I still have in my computer, and it's in Danish, which is not a problem these days. And I haven't looked at it yet.
Good.
I haven't.
I'll be interested when you do, because it's
yeah. And
because there was a Netflix program on it, and
exactly, yes. And I had,
that left out loads of information in the actual book. There's more information about the court case and everything, and all the investigation. So it is quite interesting.
It certainly is interesting. And what I asked my Danish friend, who actually helped the police and the court with a statistical analysis, and found it rather, he found it was strong evidence against her. And I asked him if there was any kind of movement of supporters of her in Denmark. And as far as he knew, there wasn't. So it seems like the Danes have decided that she's rightfully locked up, but she still protests her innocence.
It's an interesting one, because in the Netflix program, you definitely think she was guilty.
Yes.
But then when you hear all the information, it's like, because she was kind of strange, but that doesn't mean she's murdered people, does it? It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
I remember
when you learn more about how the Lucy Letby Netflix movie, how the video cutting and copying and pasting is so manipulated to make it appear that she is not answering the questions.
Yes, that's right.
It's totally fake. That's absolutely fake.
Yes, it was.
If they ask you for the 10th time the same question, then you can say no comment.
She probably knew they were trying to stitch her up.
Well, they were trying to stitch up, of course. I mean, they were attempting to extract a confession. That's what police do. It's sort of kind of allowed, And of course, you should have your lawyer with you, and they should be watching out, but they don't go too far. But it's sort of reasonable for the police to encourage you to confess if they think you are guilty. because
And I
it's going to save
suppose,
everybody so much time and money.
yeah, I suppose there's the other factor of, I think other people have said this, that the clips they used, it could have been at a point prior to which her legal representative said, advised her to say, well, okay, they've already answered. There's now the best thing to do is to say no comment.
Exactly. You don't see anything of that. The context is totally erased, and there's just these suggestive things in juxtaposition,
Absolutely.
which is really evil. But okay,
we've got a question
they
here.
want the point of the Netflix movie is to start making people convinced she's guilty, and then only bring in the doubts at the end. Because it's got to be exciting, right? So it's a movie, literally.
Yeah. I seem to remember the reaction to it, particularly on Twitter, is that quite a lot of people, I don't think it worked in the way that they thought it probably would do for a lot of people.
Exactly.
And quite a few people said, actually, now I've got doubts about this now. Do you both think that? And everybody in the chat?
No, I definitely think that.
Yeah, I mean, my friend who
pulling her out of her bed in the morning like that was just disgusting to begin with. Christ, yeah. I mean, we know she was prepared to come along to the police station anytime they asked her. They had to come with their cameras and get her out of bed at 6 a.m. That's utterly disgusting. And the way she behaved, and her mother behaved, and the cats and so on. Then the other day you had that incredibly stupid psychologist, the one with high heels, Demon.
Yes, so the Scorpion Queen.
The Scorpion Queen, yes. I called her Cruella de Vil, and she even started calling herself Cruella de Vil.
That was excellent, actually, wasn't it?
But it's a guy. It's actually a guy called Lee.
Yeah.
All right.
So so this and Sea Green, the account Sea Green. I don't know if Sea Green's listening at the moment, but Sea Green helpfully told me, linked it up with another account, and it's a guy called Lee, and Ashley is his alter. He's calling Ashley as the alter, which is this character called the Scorpion Queen. But he's got this other. No, is that right? Yeah. No, sorry. Ashley is the female alter, in which she's got a blonde wig on, but he's also a guy called Lee. So he's got these two personas. And one of the personas is pretending to be a sort of a psychologist, I think.
Well, he said it is saying that it has a degree in forensic psychology. Yeah,
it's just. I think I was thinking about this before the stream started. I think it's it's a sign of what they're left with and what they're down to. The types of people that they've kind of got, really, as these people with multiple personalities and alters, pretending with a lot of kind of demonology aspects to them, and or at least pretended demonology, suggestive things. You know, I mean, like the one that calls it. I saw something on Twitter today. This one called Your Pope. Have you heard? You come across?
Oh yeah. Oh, I blocked him quite a while ago. Yeah.
Somebody said he was from Holland or something.
And not that I know.
Well, I didn't know he was from Holland, but anyway, Your Pope is
no people from Holland could be as nasty, as stupid as that.
No, well, indeed. So it's probably not from Holland, and he's probably. Yeah. But I don't think he's not a Pope.
Recently, talking of forensic psychologists, I recently read an article in Daily Mirror where maybe it's a year old now or half a year old, and it was actually an interview with a forensic psychologist, and they were interviewing the forensic psychologist to, explain the mind of the evil serial killer. And there were some really odd. It was mainly sort of sensible things that this lady said, was quoted as saying in the report of the interview with her. But one of the things she said I didn't like at all. And it was that she found it striking that that Lucy Letby was more concerned about saying goodbye to her cats than saying goodbye to her mum, which I thought was nutty
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a bit evil. And because that struck me, I looked her up on the internet because it was a real forensic psychologist. So I could easily find her and send her. She has a website, so I could send a message, and I had to got into a conversation. And actually, she turned out to be a very reasonable person who actually thinks Lucy Letby is probably innocent.
Oh, right, right.
But it was one of the things that, as a psychologist, you note, and you can make a theory of it. And the theory is, well, the actual theory she gave was, well, she loves her cats and she's maybe not going to see them again. Christ, I mean, she's going to see her mum again, presumably.
Yes.
Yes.
So sorry, Simone.
I was thinking you were referring to something else then, so ignore my comment that I said that it was a good video. I was thinking you were talking about something else, but I got mixed up.
I took that bit and I didn't really.
Oh, somebody says your Pope is Dibs.
Oh, well, it could well be. Yeah, it could be. There could be. I think there are multiple. I think there are individuals with multiple accounts. So, I mean, I think that seems to be the case, at least in YouTube comments, and probably on Twitter as well.
Yeah,
you know, they probably do that. But going back to the cats and Lucy's parents, is that I think what I took from that idea is that she's trying to protect her parents. That she asked them not to look at something.
Exactly.
So almost like she was trying to protect them.
It's a very natural, normal, nice, and right reaction.
Yeah, and she was in a kind of a caretaking mode, even in extremis, in that extremis situation. That's how I would read it, rather than this, because it's an extreme situation. So there's a question here from Margaret Dixon. With Maya's strategy being that there's no case to answer, and with his detailed explanation of Lucy's PTSD at the start of the trial, I think he planned for Lucy to not take the stand. What do you think? What do we think about that? Thank you, Margaret.
Good question.
Good question.
We're speechless.
Well, I suppose if that was the case, at what point and what would be the cause of the strategic change for Lucy to take?
I think he was counting on there being a sympathetic and sensible judge who would realize very easily that his arguments were very, very good, which they were.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that particular judge is not that kind of guy.
No.
He's a stickler for doing things according to rules, and he has a plan. And his plan was a stupid plan because it had two parts. First of all, that this is about the accusations are about medical matters, right? Was this baby harmed in this way by that person? Then, therefore, all we need to do is to go through the cases one by one and look at the medical evidence, and that's it. And that way we'll get through it all very fast.
It should have been done like that originally, shouldn't it?
Well, yes and no. Yes, but then the defense should have been bringing in a roughly equal number of medical experts for each case.
Yes,
and that didn't happen, so that screwed it up. And then at the same time, he both wanted the jury to judge each case on its own merits. I think he said that explicitly. You've got to decide for each case separately. But at the same time, and in his summing up, he also agrees, and he actually uses it for baby, the retrial, baby K Ride. Already she's a murderer, so it shouldn't be too difficult for you this time. right?
shouldn't
So
have
that
directed
means
them like that.
he is allowing them to use everything. Now,
Mm.
what they're using it all the way through is dubious medical evidence, which doesn't really prove anything, and the prosecution barrister just heaping on tricks and nasty ways to destroy Lucy's character and make her appear to lie. And he
That's
was managed to
absolutely, yeah,
We
catch
that's
her
right.
we
out
were
on things which contradict one another.
we sat in on something when we were last in London probably about a month ago, and it was an NHS negligence case, and it was quite interesting because they awarded I think it was some kind of operation that went wrong, and the mother was getting a massive amount of money, and it taken something like years to come to this point, but they didn't do the trial in the end. They just paid out the money. But there were 15 expert witnesses on both sides or something.
Oh, good Lord.
It was interesting, really, because, obviously there wasn't on this one. It was quite interesting, really.
That's extraordinary. But they, so Simone, when they made that decision about paying it out, did you actually see them making that decision as like
No,
shutting
it was
down
kind of just the summing up, really, and
and the
there
summing
was
up?
nobody, there wasn't a jury or anything in there. It was just
Oh,
like a hearing. So there were literally the judge, the barrister, and us. But we just kind of saw it on the list, so we thought we'll go in and have a listen to it. But it was quite interesting because they gave a lump sum and then a certain amount of money every year for the rest of the child's life. So
yes,
it was obviously something serious, but it had taken a long time. I think it had taken something like, I don't know, 8 years or something to come to this arrangement, but all the investigation into it, so it was quite interesting.
yes. I mean, they can take many years to come to a settlement. I remember the information that was received, and they introduced a new coding for neonatal cases where there was a claim of medical not necessarily malpractice, but a problem basically with the care. And there were 18 in 2024. There were 18 outstanding at Countess of Chester, so 1818. So that's quite a significant number. You don't always know. This was the specificity is a bit hard to track here because, as I said, they only introduced the coding for that in 2022, I think it was. So it would suggest that there were quite a number of them in quite a short order, but sometimes it's hard. You can make inferences and they're not necessarily right, but depending on how they report these things, different codes, because other codes being pediatrics and obstetrics and neonatal problems in neonatal care used to come under obstetrics, and it was given its own code. This is specific to Countess of Chester,
I think there was a programme on the other night, I've not seen it, but it was talking about the major problems going on in the NHS with maternity services. But I've not seen it, so I'm not sure what we talked about.
Yes.
I think it was on Channel 5 or something like that.
Dr. Martin Pittman's been making reference to this, and other people have been talking about it, that it's a huge issue, isn't it? And it's and I think it's all going to be pulled eventually post Lucy Letby's exoneration. All these strands are going to be pulled together in terms of maternity care, obstetrics care, and neonatal care. It can't help but be pulled together in terms of a reassessment of what the issues are. Would you say? Would you agree? As opposed to it being siloed in specific areas, Yes, I'd hope so as well. And
we'd hope there would be a Thirlwall 2, a good Thirlwall 2.
Thirlwall 2, yeah.
I mean, there would have to be an inquiry. I mean, there really ought to be, but they might decide not to and just let her keep it under the carpet as long as far away as possible.
I don't know if either of you or anybody in the chat have come across the notion that, or an idea that Lady Thirlwall has written two reports or is authoring two potential options depending on which way things go. I mean, that it sounds a kind of a further absurdity, but I don't know whether that sounds realistic to either yourself, Simone, or Richard, or anybody in the chat.
I think that's an absurdity, because that would be an awful lot of work. But of course, she and her team will have ideas of how both reports could look. But it's very clear they're just hoping that the CCRC is going to come out and things are going to lead their whole business to be declared irrelevant and stopped.
Oh, I see. Yes, yes, because they're sort of a hostage to fortune at the moment, because they can't.
Yeah, they make themselves a hostage to fortune. But I mean, there was Thirlwall was actually at some point kind of subtly asking the government if she could perhaps stop, or if the inquiry could be paused, right, postponed. She actually, but that was the message which came from Thirlwall to the government. Well, the answer was, of course, no. You carry on. But basically, she knows where it's going.
And Richard, what was the approximate date where that was happening then? Was that early on?
That was quite a while ago now, maybe, I don't know, half a year ago, something like that. I can't remember. I don't take notes of all these things, because
no, of course not.
I'm just remember where I wrote all these things and so on.
No, of course not. I'm just interested in the sort of the sequences, because it's you can see what kind of
quite a while ago. That was a kind of a useful opportunity. I don't know where maybe it was even being discussed. Maybe it was even being publicly talked about by important people about maybe the inquiry should be postponed or something. It was a topic of conversation at some point. And I do remember she actually kind of made a modest suggestion from maybe we should postpone, or should we postpone? But the answer was no.
And the no, is that coming from the Department of Health then, or essentially?
Something like that. Well, whichever, I don't know which I suppose from the Home Office. I suppose she's been instructed by the Home Office, basically. But I'm not sure which particular minister is sort of in charge, if anything.
Yeah, there's a number of interested parties, I suppose, that we don't always know exactly who they are and what.
Mervyn has answered.
Mervyn is. I'm a bit behind with the comments, so.
Well, the most recent comment, but one.
Oh, all right. So, Mervyn has answered about that question to do with Lady Thirlwall.
I think that's the question he's answering.
Shall I have a quick scroll through some of the comments, and I will try to catch up a little bit. Yeah. So, Next Realm, hi Next Realm, hope you're doing well. Chariots of Fire, I'll tell you. Maya's got a medical expert to defend Duckenfield. Oh, that was the police officer, in the form of a psychologist. But in Lucy's case, which was exclusively medical, he only went with a plumber. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Next Realm. Melanistic Marble, hi Mark, hi everyone. A small thing. I'm going to add Mervyn to the stage. I'll just read this out. A small thing, but I think the withdrawal of the racing advert featuring Ravi's image is very positive. I agree.
Yeah, very positive.
Yeah, that is significant. I'm just going to welcome Mervyn to the stage now. Hello, Mervyn.
Are we all right?
Hello. Is it going there? You all right? Yeah, nice to see you. Are you well?
To see you nice.
See you nice. See you nice.
You're going to go top, middle, or bottom? Oh no, that was Strike It Lucky, not Generation Game.
Oh gosh, yeah, top, middle, or bottom. I'm a blankety blank.
Lily Savage or
Oh, the
What's the other
original,
one? The
who was
original.
the original blankety blank was
Terry
oh God,
Wogan.
who was it? Who was it? So Simone?
Terry Wogan.
Terry Wogan. Yeah, I think
He
it was
did it.
Terry
Yeah.
Wogan. Who was the one the one that Les Dawson did? What did he do? Celebrity Squares. Was that Celebrity Squares? Anyway,
Sorry, I've already derailed everything, and I've just.
you never know. You never know how you can fit it
Sorry.
in. You never know.
No, yeah, the firewall application to pause. It was the very same day that we had our demonstration. That's why we got so much coverage, because the media were there getting their little snapshots for what they call, their stock footage or whatever.
Oh yes, that's right. And I was. It's a pity. I would like to have met Sonia Poulton. I think she came a bit later.
She's
But I think we
fabulous.
missed.
Sonia Poulton.
Yeah, I love Sonia Poulton. Yeah.
I always
So
listen to her every week.
Yeah, she's great, isn't she? Because she does all these deep dives on. She's doing like all these like national treasures, and she's kind of looking into the backgrounds of national treasures. So Mervyn, have you got any thoughts about, well, anything really, but all this thing about the star and this Jeff Banks and the idea of this kind of build up of support from different sources?
Yeah, I just saw the Jeff Banks thing when I was watching Carl Perkins' video,
Yes.
who's does great stuff all the time. I mean, it's all good, isn't it? Slowly people are gonna trickle in, and it's what's important is that it's a different audience. Okay, he might not bring any specific expertise himself, but he will attract a very different audience. Anything to get out of the current sort of bubble, And jokingly, someone mentioned earlier about Peter Andre, jokingly, but again, different audience, isn't it?
It's great. I think it is great. No, it's fantastic, isn't it? The more the better. Richard, in light of that, in the Lucia de Burke case, were there any like Dutch celebrities or well-known people who became supportive en route?
That's a good question.
At some point there was like a folk rock band, and there's definitely way from celebrities. But actually, I got a really huge celebrity on board who's not really a celebrity, but he's a Nobel Prize winning physicist. This is where my expertise in quantum mechanics came in useful, you see, because I was able to go and chat with him and say, I'm organizing a petition on the Lucia de Burke case, and would you be prepared to sign it? Okay, I met him in his office on a Friday afternoon. Okay, and he's just a top theoretical physicist, right? I don't know if he follows politics and crime and things like that, but actually he's a very nice man, very interested in the world. And his wife is a doctor, and his two daughters are doctors or training to be doctors. And he said, and he told to me, well, I have to think about it. So he went home in the weekends and he thought about it. And in the morning, he signed a petition calling for a retrial for Lucia de Burke, and he signed it not anonymously, right?
Good.
Professor Gerard het Hoofd, and he's a celebrity in the Netherlands, and he wrote a sentence about how ridiculous it was to be trying a nurse in a situation where people are dying all the time, and you can't distinguish. It's so hard to distinguish. I mean, he wrote a beautiful, well-chosen sentence or two.
Yes.
Which summarized it perfectly. And the thing was, we already had journalists on our side, and the journalists were watching the names coming up on the petition. And as soon as Gerard het Hoofd signed the petition, that was in the news. I think it even came in the New York Times or something like that. Right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
yes, it helps to get a celebrity.
It does, and the comments about
Especially if they are lucid and sensible. Now, I was watching that clothes designer guy on Carl's channel, and he did actually say he's a good guy. I mean, and he kind of got the message, and he communicated it well. But he had the idea that it was Mark Davis who had got Shoe Lee's team together, right?
Right.
So
David Davies.
he had got wrong. David Davis, sorry. I always, okay. David Davis. So he got a few he got a few facts wrong, and all of us would be shocked to hear. Bit excruciating, but all in all, it was fantastic. And then and he's speaking to people who maybe find this clothes designer impressive. And Carl was very impressed because he actually buys coats from many guys' company. So,
I mean, he could have wore a Jeff Banks suit for his video.
Yeah,
but,
he
you know.
should have. I thought that was a weak point, but still.
You missed a trick there.
Yeah. To give him even more honour, that would have been a good thank you, wouldn't it?
They're meant to be nice suits, are they? I think quite expensive suits.
They're nice. Supposed to be nice suits, quite expensive. All right. Knowing Carl, I would imagine that's the case.
I used to get mine in the 80s from British Home Stores. I think they were like £29.99. But they were quite brown. It's weird. Anyway, that's There's Clara says here that she went to the COCH a couple of months ago, and there were police lingering there. Tried to find a way into the old building, but someone approached me sharpish, and I acted casual. I'd been hoping to see RJ or SB. So perhaps they are a bit aware and a bit on tenterhooks still about things.
Yeah. We didn't see any police when we went, but we walked where you see the famous tunnel that used to connect a couple of the wards, and you could go up to there, and then it's all blocked off now. But nobody approached us or anything.
Mervyn, that's good.
Mervyn, just for your information, we went to Chester a few weeks ago, and we, the building's all getting demolished. I think it's all, but quite sad to see, really.
Right. Hi, Jim. Hope you're doing well. Bacterial species. I think that's to do with the Serratia that we were talking about. Serratia or Serratia. Not sure how you pronounce it. Tim Hunkin did his quantum tunneling telescope at his place on the pier near Ipswich. It sees every possible future. Wow.
Yeah. That's what they write in the newspapers about these experiments. And the people who do them get their news item in the newspapers because they don't prevent the journalists from totally misunderstanding what they've done.
Oh, I see.
Which is not difficult because nobody understands quantum mechanics, and anybody who thinks they does definitely doesn't.
But then they don't.
You tell some weird story, and these are weird phenomena. They are weird. You can't explain them. They cannot be explained, but they happen.
They do. There's some weird things that happen.
But they are nothing. They are nothing like the weird things which happen.
Well,
which some people connect to quantum mechanics, such as amazing coincidences.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, speaking of weird things that happen, and unexplainable things that happen. So, with the Letby case and the air embolism and the insulin results, so much of it was said to be unexplained at the time, and therefore they're assuming criminal. But there's a couple of things that even on YouTube, there's a guy called Anton Petrov who is an astrophysicist and constantly, pretty much every day, is doing stories about astronomical studies and things like that. And you would have thought that we sort of had planetary physics sort of knuckled down by now, but every day there seems to be a new discovery, or something's going on that they don't understand. And it doesn't mean that something criminal is going on just because you don't understand it. The same with these C-peptide results. Just because you don't understand it, there's this assumption that you know everything, when they don't. They clearly don't know everything. Odd results happen all the time.
Well, that's right, isn't there? I don't know whether to compare it. I know other people have, to the post office scandal, in which they appear to assume that
it was infallible. Yeah,
it was infallible. But even though the reality was that they knew it wasn't infallible, didn't they? That the people inside the computer, was it Fujitsu?
Horizon. Yeah, I think it was owned maybe by Fujitsu Horizon.
And the people did know that within that, but the post office, but they didn't want to tell the post office that they knew it was fallible and problematic. So
part of the problem is that the experts who are expert in certain fields kind of sell themselves by pretending that they know more than they know, and that it's more certain than it actually is. There's a nice example in the Netherlands. We had a murder case, actually not far from where I live, the Deventer murder case, where a very rich widow was brutally murdered, and blame fell on her accountant, who did become the executor of her will or something like that, though he didn't get any of the money. It went to some foundation. But the evidence, part of the evidence against him, was a mobile phone call, which appeared to have been made from quite close to when the crime was going to be is supposed to have taken place.
Yeah. And
he claimed that he was actually like 30 miles further away at that time. And so this is the accountant, and he had actually seen, for instance, a little traffic jam on the motorway, which later turned out to actually really have been there on the motorway, a very short time. And he'd experienced it, and he knew the time when it happened. So, he could sort of prove that he was on the motorway. But the prosecution got telecom engineers who argued that it was absolutely impossible for a mobile phone call from the place on the motorway to the house where the murder took place to travel, I don't know, 30 miles or something, to be picked up by a mast 20 kilometers away. Well, actually, that's written in the specifications, and it's sort of written into the law that it doesn't happen. Part of the reason is that near the boundary between the Netherlands and Germany, you have to make sure that the phone calls are attributed to one side or the other. So that the phone companies have all sort of made a secret agreement that it's not possible for a call to be picked up by a GSM tower more than 10 kilometers away. But it's a lie.
Yes.
But it's written in the manuals and in the books, and the experts say it. And Tom Derksen, who was the whistleblower in the Lucia de Beert case, he actually got in touch with meteorologists and experts in mobile phone signal propagation, who said that there are certain atmospheric circumstances when the signal can go like bouncing off a layer. When you have different layers in the atmosphere, a mobile phone, the call from your mobile phone can bounce off a cloud and then come down and thereby get over a hill. Right?
Right.
Now this, of course, doesn't happen all the time. But the weather situation at the time of this trial, the time of the murder, was exactly this particular special weather condition. So
Amazing.
amazing. And the Dutch Supreme Court didn't accept that this was new evidence, and so the guy sat out his 9 years or something. I think he got 15 years, but he was out early for good behaviour.
Oh my
And he's still
goodness.
fighting to be exonerated.
Oh,
And
that's
I
terrible.
think it's perfectly clear that to me it's perfectly clear he's innocent. But really, certainly he shouldn't have been convicted. But that's not going to happen because it's now past so many years and so on and so forth.
So there's a similar reluctance in the Dutch legal system to want to put things right there as well.
Of course, yes. So I have another case of Kevin Sweeney. It's a Dutch and English case because Kevin Sweeney is an Englishman who had a house in south of the Netherlands, and his wife died in a house fire, and he wasn't there, and they'd been decorating the house, and he had to leave in the early evening, and she stayed there, and she was smoking in bed. It's very clear from the fire evidence that she was smoking in bed, and a cigarette fell out of her hand and got caught between the mattress and the headboards, and her breathing as she slept, because she'd also had some drugs and been drinking, so she was in a very deep sleep, and her breathing caused an air circulation which caused the cigarette to stay smouldering, which caused the mattress to catch fire. Okay, and she died.
Yes.
And he was suspected because he had a dark brown skin and was born a slightly brown skin and was born in Bombay. So that made him suspicious. And he'd had two previous wives who, it was said, both had died, and he'd got huge insurance money. Both of which was not true, but this was said. So, and the ambulance and the fire and the police had all failed to react to warnings because neighbors had smelt the flames. Smelt the fire, right? And policemen had walked around the house and not done anything. Tried the doors but couldn't get in. They were locked from the inside. And it was a summer evening, so policemen thought, oh, well, barbecues,
Yeah.
And so the local rescue agencies were basically responsible for this disaster, plus the lady smoking in bed, of course. But this means that there's a huge impulse to cover it up and not let the local authorities have to be to blame. Now, a strange thing is, as I said, he was an Englishman and his wife was English too. And English police were very soon closely involved in the police investigation. And there were strange English cars with English number plates parked in the street already about the time that this fire took place. Very weird.
That's strange.
And I have only recently found the explanation for the weirdness. So Kevin Sweeney also has been in jail for 9 years and has appealed, and all his appeals have been turned down. The Supreme Court, European Court of Human Rights has turned it down. They say there are still things you can do in Holland, right? That's what they always say. So it doesn't help.
Yes.
Don't bother with going to the European Court of Human Rights. But do you know what he's discovered? His wife was in a trio relationship with a lady and a man. And the man was a very wealthy British businessman. Very, very wealthy businessman. And the lady, the woman, was Diana Spencer.
Diana Spencer. Oh, you mean?
I mean, Lady Di of the Countess of Chester.
Oh, good Lord! That's enough. I didn't expect that.
Nobody ever expects the Countess of Chester.
No, what a straw. So, when these police cars are there, then
because you see, so I should have said his wife was in a relationship with this rich man and this third person, this woman,
Yeah.
who we didn't know who it was till recently, but now Kevin is about to reveal it, I believe, and he believes he has proof. But the thing was that the case, like the very wealthy businessman, was in some conflict with the British government about money,
Oh.
a lot of money, and secret things and bad things.
Are you talking about Dodi Fayed or someone?
No, but
No,
somebody
it's not
else.
a different one. Right, sorry.
A different one. But I don't know. I can look it up. But I have it in my emails somewhere.
So this
Close
goes
by.
back in time quite a way. This
It
one.
goes back quite a way. Yeah, it's about 20 years ago now, I think. But what did I want to say? Yeah. So the idea was that the woman, the wife of Kevin, who had a lesbian relationship with Diana Spencer,
Wow.
was actually keeping computer files safe on her laptop. And the British police weren't police, they were MI6 or MI5, and
Right.
they wanted to get their hands on the laptop.
Oh. Has this
And it
come
wasn't.
out? Has this come out in
Sorry?
the media? Has it come out more broadly in the media over the time?
No, you are the first people who.
You got an exclusive, Mark.
Oh my! Well, we've all got.
Interesting.
It's a story that. I mean, it's massive. That story, isn't it? If
A
that's the
massive
case.
story, yes. So what Kevin is doing at the
Well,
moment
yeah.
is he's trying to go to the European Criminal Court of Justice. There is like the human rights is in Strasbourg, and the other one is in somewhere else, Luxembourg
So-
or somewhere.
So-
And he's accusing he's trying to bring a criminal case against the Dutch state.
Okay, that's a big one, isn't it? I mean, so just so I understand, do you believe that it was a kind of an accidental death? There's no sense that
Well, I'm
he was-
absolutely certain it was an accidental death because I helped him
Mm.
get hold of her. I helped him get assistance from a Dutch fire expert who did excellent forensic, a kind of what do you call it? Standalone. No, what is it? Somebody who works on their own.
Oh, well, like an independent.
An independent fire expert. An independent fire expert with a business.
Freelance.
Freelance.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Freelance.
Freelance. Yeah, my English is not so good anymore. A freelance fire expert, and I got him involved, and he went through everything we could get because from Kevin I got all the information from the trial and all the evidence. And for instance, the prosecution had hired a very expensive fire expert from Lausanne, where they have an internationally renowned forensic science institute. And he told the Dutch court that the idea that house fires can be caused by smoking in bed is a fable. Now, if you actually go to the Central Bureau of Statistics in the Netherlands and you look at data from fires, you will find it's not a fable at all. But actual statistical data saying that house fires caused by smoking in bed are actually bloody common.
Okay.
That was not allowed to be put into evidence.
Well, I couldn't help my mind going in a certain direction when you said MI6. The fact that this lady's in this menage a trois, and the people concerned is the idea that was she possibly bumped off by the secret services?
Oh, no,
and it made to look like
you're a conspiracy theorist. Mark. That's because that's
It's just a question of a possible.
paranoid
Am I the
side.
only person that thought that? Did it?
No,
No, I thought that as well.
I
Oh,
think it
thank
was
you, thank you. Really, thank
It's a
you,
natural thing to imagine.
most definitely.
It's a natural thing to perhaps imagine.
thank
but
you. Well, particularly
Well,
because Richard
it is
teed
not
it up.
the case. So
Richard
she
teed it up by saying that the British cars were
definitely
there
killed herself
around
by
the time of the fire. So
Well,
Yeah.
Richard, do you think the car crash was a genuine accident, or
No,
The car crash. Are we talking about that one?
yeah,
No, I
the
don't
Diana
have any
crash?
opinion on that one.
Don't have any opinion on it. All right.
definitely
No,
not.
I haven't looked at the evidence actually. You know,
what do you said definitely not, Simone, and what do you think, Mervyn, then about the car crash?
I don't know. I can't really commit, but there are big questions. Like I know I've watched a couple of documentaries, and there was like a little. I know there was a little white Fiat 500 involved, and then I think they found it later or something. But I don't
there were
know.
definitely some odd things. But
I
I mean,
had a book years ago, and it was about the crash and everything. And I gave it back to a charity shop, which I'm kind of miffed that I did this now, because there were two pictures in the book, and one had a picture of the car after the crash, and it had a box of tissues on the back of the car, and then it had another picture that didn't have the box of tissues, but it also had one of the holes that you put the flags in on a car. It had that on one of them, and then that was missing on the other one, and it was like something not right here. I've tried to get the book again, and I've ordered the wrong one, but I'll have to try and get a copy of it, because we were telling Jenny about this the other day.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think Mercedes really wanted to examine that car, and they weren't allowed to do it. And it had a very peculiar history of being stolen a number of times. And earlier in its life, it had been a write-off, but it had been put back together. And it had only been stolen a number of weeks before it was used on that night. And it was noted that some things were up with the electrics, apparently. So there was a particular documentary about the car itself, specific car, which had a very weird history. But so that's interesting. Clara, sorry if I'm getting behind with the comments, but Clara says, please can you introduce yourself, Simone? I missed you in previous lives. I'm assuming that like your interest in this has been a long-term thing, hasn't it, Simone?
It has been. I'm not sure what people want me to say, but I've just been following it from the beginning, really. And I'm not medically. I don't work in a hospital, or I'm not a nurse or anything, but just followed quite a few miscarriages of justice, including the Sally Clark one and Angela Canning's and the Roy Meadows guy, because I live in Leeds, so I was kind of interested because he was a Leeds guy, and just smelt a rat on this one from the beginning.
From the beginning,
so I just read, not always believed the media. We did start out listening to the podcast by Caroline Cheetham and Liz Hull, and just thought they were really biased. And I actually stopped listening to it in the end because it was so bad. They used to advertise bonus episodes and things like this, and it was like, there's something not right here. That's when we started looking into it, really.
I just like the theme tune.
Yeah, we did attend a couple of the hearings, the court case as well. My partner Tony, he joined. He went to one of the baby care ones actually, and said some things on this live previously about the Dr. Gibbs.
Yes, that's right. He did. I remember that was really fascinating. And but so Simone, yourself and Tony, were you kind of on the same page in your doubts about it all the way through, or did one of you sort of follow the other one a bit more, or you kind of on the same?
We've always been of the same, impression. But I mean, we've spent a lot of time on this, and when people talk to us about it, it's like, this goes back years, and we have spent a lot of time listening to Michael McConville and all that kind of stuff. And I did actually.
You helped him with his book.
I did actually proof his book, but he was working on a different version. So I take no responsibility for errors in that. I spent hours.
All remaining errors are his responsibility.
Completely
gosh,
his.
that's great then.
And he did admit to using different versions, so I take no responsibility for that. But I did do that voluntarily as well.
So have you? But his book, I presume, is really like detailed medical and biology stuff.
There is a lot of that, but
medical science, yeah.
It
does about half of the cases, but it's sort of enough.
I remember once, like someone sort of half mentioned, "Oh, there's this other podcast about Lucy Letby going on," and I was late. I was late to listening to it because I thought, I was quite arrogant. I thought, I don't want to hear another podcast about Lucy. I think I've read enough. But then, obviously, I had no idea. Like when I started listening to it, I had no idea the depth and the medical knowledge that he went into, and I was like, what an idiot I am for not listening to this.
I mean, I've started listening to them all again because they're just so interesting, and you hear different things when you hear them again. But I have heard every single one.
There was a slight issue with the audio quality on a couple of them.
And I was giving him feedback at the time because every time it was unclear, I thought it's going to put people off listening to it, isn't it? So I did actually. I was in touch with him and saying. And he was asking me after every episode, is this okay? Is this okay? So we did give him a lot of feedback on that because it's important that people listen to it. And if they're put off, because he's got quite a strong accent as well. But he did sort it out eventually. I think he had a new sound system or something.
Yeah, and the dynamic between Peter Alston and Dr. McConville was really good as well because it was that conversational thing and it was like being explained and then Peter was talking about the statistics side of it and etc. And they were like investigating it together. That was interesting as well.
I don't think there's anything else more to add to that, but we did attend the appeal hearing as well down in London.
Oh God, that's brilliant. Tim Kent says, have you noticed the timeline of the gut feeling? The consultant first mentioned that the day after puncturing the liver of infant.
Gut feeling. Let's see what you've done there.
So that's the. So is that the first time that phrase was used?
I'd have to look it up, but I'll take his word for it. But it did crop up an awful lot.
Yeah, I thought it was earlier. I thought there was already a gut feeling that something was right with baby's ABCD.
Yes, I suppose. Does it come down to whether that particular phrase was used or is there a record of it being used? And Jim says biofilm bacterial genus. I think that's going back to the Serratia element.
I think Michael McConville actually mentioned about that biofilm in one of his episodes.
Yes,
I was only listening to it the other day, and he said that that'll be present in the building until it's demolished, which I thought was interesting.
Gosh, really? Yes. Next realm saying about the statement analysis that Clara's doing is really, really fascinating about Jairam's interviews. That's on the Consortium of Misfits channel. Then Mervyn comes in, and then I'll just. So what's this say? Nick, hi Nick. Shame on you, Mark, for being part of Matlin PR. How much do you get paid? Oh, I think this referred to. There was a troll on one of Chris's videos, or somebody's video. Whose video was it? Anyway, he's asking everybody what connection have you got with the PR firm, and I just said I make the sandwiches, and so I think that's the thing. But I don't really.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
See you in a bit. So good point, Nick. But I finished that. I'm not doing any more sandwiches.
Do your sandwiches make people sick? Do your sandwiches make people sick?
Say again, sorry, beg your pardon.
Sorry, do your sandwiches make people sick?
No, of course not. No, they're really good sandwiches. Actually, they're on.
Okay, good, yeah,
I was saying that
very
they're on.
hygienically prepared.
Well, they're artisan sourdough bread that I make myself with a
Okay.
brie and grape is a popular.
Mhm.
That's what I said on the comment anyway. But it was a way of like I'm trying to. The energy of the trolls is kind of
Yeah.
they kind of what either I don't know. It's just something daft to say to them, really, isn't it? But then I noticed they were all taken off, so I think maybe they were deleted or something.
Okay.
So we're just going through this a little bit here, but please keep talking, and I'm just going to look for. This Jim's mentioning with regard to the GMC hearing. So this is to do with Dr. McConville.
Oh yeah.
For speaking out over COVID, and then Jim says Irish Medical Council. So that's the Irish version of GMC. I'm assuming then.
About social media posts or something silly.
Social media posts, yeah. The law barristers perverting the course of justice are too vague. They should be subject to perjury laws also, which should be better defined. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, I remember looking into it's quite a high bar, isn't it, to get a barrister charged with in the most common thing they could be charged with is just something that they're criticised by their professional body, as opposed to being charged with perjury or perverting the course of justice. Yeah. I think it's almost unheard of, isn't it? I think it's very rare.
I think so.
I think it's very rare, but I agree. I think perhaps it should be tightened up more. I think it probably should. House of Dragon. The problem with the police is that they find what they want to find, which has led to this mess. Yeah, they did have fixation.
And I think like once you've been arrested, like that's your life. You know, we saw on that Netflix documentary with her in tears, but you know her life actually was over as soon as the arrest came in. Whether or not she was even charged, whether or not she was found guilty, you know, because we saw that letter from who was it, Kilroy, who said, you know, regardless of whether or not you're found guilty or not, we've got no confidence in you. We can't, you can't be on us again, even if you're found not guilty. And it's, you know, as soon as she was arrested, that is the end.
It's the end, isn't it? And obviously, in respect of the wider NHS, there would have been no way she would have ever got a job at another hospital. Unfortunately,
her life was over then. Her life was over then. You know, even if it all came to nothing.
I know it's that letter from Kilroy was really horrible.
Yeah, and it was dated 4th of January on her birthday as well.
Yes, I remember you making that.
Yeah,
on a video or
happy birthday. Yeah.
So is that a discussion on X, I think, mostly recently, about whether Breary, especially, maybe Breary and Jaram, really believed Lucy Letby was harming babies, or if they were only sort of like hoping he was harming babies.
I think they probably managed to convince themselves, which you would have to do in order to do that.
It's certainly true. They managed to convince themselves. Yeah.
Like I think they're lying to themselves, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I think it does.
Yes, it's quite a hard thing to get your head round, and what were their position?
It sounds harder to believe, but I think he believes people actually able not to tell themselves lies. So it kind of depends on whether you believe people can tell themselves lies or not.
So were they lying to themselves with the motivation being that if it wasn't the case that they were in trouble. Is that what we're thinking?
Well, it certainly was the case that they did know that they were in trouble, very likely. We do know that they were in trouble because after the RCPCH report and the Lucy's thingamy was one complaint, that they knew that the management was talking about managing them out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let me put myself in their position in as a bad guy. So what they're people are selfish and they just want to do what's best for them, and they've started making these comments. They've got in trouble with the grievance, and it's gone badly for them. I think up to the grievance point, they obviously didn't think that she had murdered anyone or anything, and otherwise they obviously would have said. And they know they're in trouble with the management, and their next move then is, they know they're going to be managed out, especially after losing this grievance. The next move is, okay, they've been sent these reports from the Horden and everything, and just as you expect, for example, Dr. Susan Oliver, when the Shu Lee reports come out, just as you expect, she would. The automatic reaction is to pick a hole in it. So they'll pick a hole in it and say, it hasn't really answered the questions that we wanted. We want to go to the next stage of a forensic review, because, like I said, they're just playing selfishly, doing what's best for them and their careers, and then so that does lead to contacting the police, and then they're thinking, all right, well, we better, like we saw from that email and the WhatsApp messages, well, let's collate as many collapses. Well, you saw that leaked email. Let's collate as many collapses that they were on shift for, and that's them sort of getting what they wanted. It was just selfish. They weren't thinking at all about anyone other than themselves.
Thanks, Mervyn. That's brilliant. I just want to welcome Matt to the screen here. Hi, Matt. Nice to see you again. I remember us talking some time ago in one of the lives.
Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, I jumped on one probably a couple of months ago, Mark.
A few months ago, that's right. Good to see you.
Yeah, Richard, we met at the conference in Manchester. I doubt it was a very momentous point in your life, but there you go.
Well, you sort of look familiar, but the picture is a bit small, so I'll put you full screen.
I just wanted to clarify my point that I posted about the barrister and perjury, because it's easier to put it across just by speaking.
Thank you.
It seems to me outrageous that you can accuse somebody of lying, and it was only a minor point in this that I'm using as an example, but in the case of her wearing pajamas is the most notable example. But it seems outrageous that you can accuse somebody of lying by yourself lying. Okay?
Yes.
That's the point I was trying to make. If he was knowingly lying, or his team certainly were, because the police knew, then to accuse somebody of lying by yourself using a lie and there being no repercussions to yourself, that's where the system falls apart. The repercussion needs to be that you're subject to the law of perjury, the same as a witness is on the stand.
Well, that specific point about the pajamas, I don't think Nick Johnson actually knew about it, because Mark, you done a Freedom of Information request, didn't you, and asked whether the footage was sent to the defence, and I think they only sent the one video or something to the defence.
The situation there is that there was body worn camera footage for all three arrests, but the police only gave the CPS only gave the CPS footage for the arrest of that you see in the Netflix, but they did have footage for it. They didn't give it to the CPS, and therefore it wasn't passed on to the defence either. And yeah, so that's the situation there. Yeah.
So that explains it, Mervyn. Thanks. But somebody has to be culpable for that. Whether the barrister who's presenting the case then defers culpability to the police, I don't know, and I don't know. It wouldn't then be a claim of perjury. It would be a claim of misleading or perverting the course of justice. We'd be back to where we started. But somebody has to be culpable. You can't accuse somebody of lying by lying. Well, obviously you can because it's happened, but it seems outrageous to me.
In light of that, Matt, I know, Matt, that people have made the point that the police were also, or representatives of Cheshire Police were in the court, and they had the opportunity to intervene, as it were, as well.
Exactly. So they can sort it out amongst themselves who's accepting culpability, but someone amongst the team has to be culpable, because it's the culpability that would stop the barrister from lying in the first place. Well, he's not lying because he wasn't told, but if the police knew there would be a consequence to them not intervening, then they probably would have intervened at some point and said, "Hang on, that's not true." I don't know the best way of expressing the point, but to accuse somebody of lying by lying is just scandalous.
But that wasn't the only example. I think Chris is going to do a video on it. So Chris Morris, all the times that they said she falsified the records. There's no evidence of that. You can't. How can the prosecution just say we think you falsified the records when there's absolutely no sort of charge, no evidence of that? How can you just say that?
I completely agree. I was using the most recent and obvious example, but it's not the most outrageous one. There's far worse examples. If I really thought about it, you're right. There's tens of them. It's way worse. But it seems to be like they're just chucking mud and seeing what stuck. And there's some obvious points. That's what it was. Yes,
playing with words, because it was. Different people will use different words for the same thing, such as pajamas, nightie, nightwear. They were arguing about fine points of, I don't know, is that called semantics or whatever? Different people call their nightwear different names,
and it's all irrelevant.
and it's all totally irrelevant. Yes, and that made up so many days and hours of sittings to catch the most evil killer ever in the UK.
No, I didn't realise till the last week or two, because I've looked at it myself, as to why people don't formally object in British courts like they do in the American court system. But I have a slightly better understanding of it now, and I believe it's down to the history of the British judicial system. And you wouldn't put your hand up and say objection. You would say, "Sir, I wish to raise a point regarding this." And because the judge in the British court system holds so much power, barristers are reluctant to do that more than a certain number of times, which is why it's very rare in the British justice system compared to the US justice system. And that's only some very brief research I've done in the past week or so. You guys are probably more knowledgeable than I am on it.
I don't think Myers ever objected to anything, did he?
But the barristers are dead scared to make the judge angry then.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, I think he actually did once or twice, but once or twice in a 10-month court case, it may as well have been nothing.
There are quite a lot of things where it's like, why did Myers not object to that? Very
yes,
and especially since the judge is coming up is also so important. The judge basically is going to tell the the jury what he thinks they should do, and he'll give them the arguments why he thinks they should do that. And he or she has enormous latitude there. And if the judge is convinced that the accused is guilty, then the judge will certainly make sure the jury does it too.
Correct.
That's right.
Yeah, she was stuffed as soon as her representative accepted the insulin poisonings in the pre-court hearing. She was stuffed, and I suspect, to answer, because I've been listening to the stream previously, I suspect halfway through the case, Myers began to realise that. I think it wasn't his original intention to put her on the stand, but I think as her health improved, because it sounds like she was really struggling at the beginning of the court case. You'd imagine 6 months in, you probably just becomes normal. So I think once she was fit enough to take the stand, and Myers had looked at it and thought, my only way out here is for the jury to actually hear from her, because it's not I believe it's quite unusual for somebody accused of such crimes to actually take the stand. Certainly in the British court system, I think he knew at that point they were in trouble, and that was his last throw of the dice. Once he saw that she was fit enough to take the stand.
Well, according to
I don't think it was the original plan.
According to the good book, Judith Moritz's Unmasking. And a lot of people slate it, but there is some good information in there. I do quote it quite often. The defence did try to get, from what I remember from reading it, I think the defence tried to get a second opinion on the insulin, and I believe the people they asked sort of couldn't disagree with it. I think at the time that was the general consensus. I mean, what do you do?
Yeah,
I agree.
They had Dr. I was looking him up the other day, Dr. Mohammed Shakil Rahman, he's a general pediatrician, but he's got an interest in endocrinology, but he's not an endocrinologist. So it's really, they didn't have the specificity of expert there that might consider the other potential reasons why those.
you need a forensic toxicologist.
So
you need a forensic toxicologist. You can't do it just with doctors. You need somebody who's knowledgeable about using those various tests to decide whether or not somebody's been deliberately poisoned, and that calls for very different expertise. And very few people.
I know. It sounds facile to keep repeating it, but it's literally on the bit of paper that comes back from the laboratory that
exactly
you're not supposed to rely on it.
If her defence had investigated insulin murders, they would have come up with the name of Vincent Marks, and if they had telephoned Vincent Marks, he would have put them in contact with Alan Wayne Jones, who's a Welsh person living in Sweden, I think, and is now on the team of experts of what's his name, MacDonald, and who has given evidence in the Colin Norris case. I mean, it is so nuts. There are all these famous cases in the UK of nurses accused of using insulin to kill patients, and there are books written about it, and there's even a book written about it by Vincent Marks, and it's a bloody good book.
Yes. Do we consider then? Are we thinking then that part of the establishment's problem, as it were, that they can see that Lucy Letby's exoneration may set off a chain reaction of other exonerations potentially, and the effect of that, is that part of their resistance?
Well, no, because I'm not a conspiracy theorist, so I don't think that. You are, so you do think that.
Well, but I thought you had feelings about I thought you took a view with regard to Ben Geen, for example.
Oh, I certainly do, because I know the case very well, and I know that.
So that's what I mean.
I know that McDonald's took on Lucy Letby because he hopes it will be a way to get Ben Geen free.
Well, indeed. So that's a connectivity that if Lucy Letby, or when Lucy Letby is exonerated, it's likely to have a.
It's very likely to have a
brighter spotlight, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean there are people talking about Bev Allitt even being included in the list.
Yes, there are, and also
very seriously.
Yeah. Well, since the Andrew Malkinson terrible thing that happened to him, and there's other cases. The gentleman who's been in prison for 39 years, I can't remember his name now. There's another chap, but obviously there's also Jeremy Bamber as well. That's not.
I've been watching Jeremy Bamber documentaries today.
Oh really? Yeah. Have you got a view on that, Mervyn?
Yeah, I don't know why anyone thinks he's innocent. I really don't.
Is it what documentary series is this? It's like on YouTube.
They're like just old Channel 4 ones and things, and with using ChatGPT as well and mixing the two. I watched a couple today.
There was a recent podcast on that, Mervyn, that was really interesting. It was I forget.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of quite interesting. I started listening to that, and it was like, oh, I'm not sure now.
But at the end of with Jeremy Bamber, I don't know if anyone knows about the case, but there were murders, so it was either him or was it Sheila, and I really think there was no way it was Sheila, because it took 2 shots for her to die, and I just don't. It's for a suicide, that's pretty rare in itself. For 2 shots,
have you studied the statistics of?
I did look it up actually. I did, and it was like between 1% and 6%. But then I'm thinking there's other factors as well, where I think a guy would be more likely to shoot and then foul, but a woman, I really think if they injured themselves, I think they would struggle to get up and have another go. But in that case,
I think women are much tougher than you think they are.
Well,
you need to have a listen to the podcast, Mervyn, because but it is what I'm going to need some tough convincing. But I've never listened. Some of the relatives, they have a listen to the podcast.
Oh, one of the documentaries had some of the relatives talking about, and the guy's, the father's receptionist as well, and she's got no skin in the game as to why she would say.
Doubtful about some of the relatives, because I think one of them's living in the house or something, or definitely.
What now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can't remember who it was. It was some well-to-do relative, but him and his wife are living in the property, I think, and they kind of looked under the stairs for something or something like that. I can't remember the exact details now, but they're a bit dubious.
I mean, I know I saw that there was some discrepancies about where the bodies were found, and there's dodgy business with the silencer found later. But even then, even if that was all staged, I just can't see Sheila doing it.
No, I don't think she actually. Oh, I don't. Have a listen to the podcast and let me know what you think.
Have you
so what is the podcast? Sorry,
I'll get the name of it for you.
Thank you.
Matt, is it something you've taken an interest in, the Jeremy Bamber?
Yeah, I'm vaguely familiar with the case, and when I looked at it, there were incentives for other people to have been involved, but I can't remember the finer detail because I've been distracted with this and a few other things in the past 6 months or so.
Absolutely, and the point you're making there is that, as we know ourselves, like with this Lucy Letby case, it's huge, isn't it? There's so many, you can't keep it all in your head, and I think every case will have so much detail around it that you could watch a documentary and it could give a certain slant as we know,
Yeah.
and then you can watch
Yeah.
another one and you think again.
The other
If
stuff.
you're not familiar with things, you know.
A point I'd like to make about the insulin cases, not just for Lucy Letby, but the wider wider issue with Colin Norris and Ben Gein. I'm not as familiar with his case. I am more familiar with Colin Norris' case. These people. Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of others. Yeah, but these people have been in jail now for a long time.
Yeah.
And they are insisting that they're innocent.
Yes.
Well,
I know it's only a minor point, but they're all insisting that they're innocent. You would have thought, with the passage of time, that they would just give up if that wasn't the case. And there are people. Andrew Malkinson's a very good example of it. He just, I'm not admitting something I haven't done. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
I think it was.
It's harder if they keep on saying they're innocent. It makes your life in jail tougher, and it means you don't get.
Of course.
And so
correct, because you can't do all the rehabilitation courses and all the other stuff they try and get you to do. You can't get a reduced sentence because they're the incentives for you to do that in jail. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it was Jolly Contrarian who I saw a statistic about insulin poisonings in the general population compared to insulin poisons that nurses do, and there was like I can't remember what it was, but there was a massive fold increase in nurses using insulin, and then the question's like, why are they using insulin over the general population?
Taking account of all the diabetics who have it, and their carers have access to it as well, and so
they would have access. And the point that you've made before as well, Mervyn, is that baby L, baby F, it didn't. If you were to believe the official story, it didn't work at that level at the scores of 4,000, which would have allegedly.
Yeah. So why would you reduce? There's just so many questions about the baby L poisoning that make absolutely no sense, and especially the fact that the baby's absolutely fine.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
The theory of the forensic psychologists and true crime enthusiasts is that nursing actually attracts persons who want to have power and use it to kill people.
Yeah, but if they did that, they would do it straight away, wouldn't they? They wouldn't stealth for 3 years and then. But even so,
well, if they're very, very devious, they might stealth for 3 years before they have enough confidence. And remember, she waited till she had higher qualifications, so she had a bit more opportunities. Very, very evil. I think it's very suspicious. Yeah. Very suspicious that the thing is, those high qualifications.
The thing is, my sister's a nurse, and she's completely opposite personality to me. You know, she's always looking out for other people, which is not me at all. And like, so I sort of know that the idea that she would ever do something like that is just it. And I know that the job itself, caring for people all day long, is just not something that I could ever possibly do.
No. Well, it's Charles Cullen, everybody thought he was such a good nurse.
He's in America, isn't he, Charles Cullen?
He's in America, and as a kid, he enjoyed smashing little rabbits' heads in with a brick.
Oh, right. That's
right, he became a nurse. All right. And everybody thought he was a very good nurse. And at about 5 hospitals, he got suspected of having helped patients to die. And so he got fired. And because the hospital didn't want bad publicity, they wrote him glowing references so he could get a job elsewhere. And so he went to another one and another one and another one.
I would have thought the best example of people entering a profession to commit criminality would be the police.
Right.
Because,
Well-
I mean, there's been so many recent cases. Well, there's been so many cases, full stop. But there's been so many recent cases of obvious cases with police committing criminality. It far outweighs nursing. I would have thought. Go on, sorry?
It takes a thief to catch a thief. Isn't that an English saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, people who are, into that kind of thing, they're probably better at catching thieves too.
Well, I wonder if the police are fixated upon nurses because they're drawing not just from their own experience of being surrounded by criminality, but drawing from their own experience of their own profession.
Yeah.
And applying the same logic to nursing. I know.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth trying to follow it up any further, but I'm still interested whether there's a connection between Susie Holt, the doctor, and Detective Holt that was on.
Yeah.
That was on Hummingbird. Possibly. I mean, it might just be a dead end, but
yeah, nothing seems to have emerged from that, does it?
well, they've blocked. The Cheshire Police have blocked me from asking any further.
I think it's a common name. I know a Holt.
It's quite a common name,
particularly in that region.
Mervyn, that podcast is called Blood Relatives.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'll
And
jot
it's
that down.
somebody from the New Yorker who actually does the.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, there was a New Yorker article
Somebody
about it, wasn't
called
there?
Heidi Blake.
Heidi Blair. Yeah, there was one about. I remember that. Tim Kent says, "Has anybody looked into the career of Lady Thirlwall, considering the dark past of the other witch hunters? It might be revealing." There was something about Lady Thirlwall that somebody mentioned recently, but I've forgotten what it was, to be honest, because things come up like you were saying.
Somebody was saying, Mark, about some connection to Dame Vera.
Oh yes, it was. Thank you.
Yeah, with that connection.
Oh well, actually, sorry. Were you going to say Dame Vera Baird?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I remembered what it is now. It's actually it's one of the judges, one of the appeal judges, the female one. I can't remember her name, but she was in the same year studying law at Bristol.
Yeah,
so one of the appeal judges that denied Lucy Letby leave to appeal, the three, was in the same year studying law at Bristol as Lady Thirlwall. So that's the connection.
Is she the one who was a big advocate for miscarriages of justice? I'm not sure if it is, but there was one judge who never came back.
Oh, right.
The appeal hearing. I think it was the second one. I can't remember. But she She was a big advocate of miscarriages of justice, and then she never came. She never was seen again.
She's never seen again. Maybe not the
sure
ideal. Yeah, I mean, I know people take a different view about to what degree it's being managed. I know. I don't know what everyone else feels.
Well, Thirlwall is married to a medical person. I thought that might be a positive thing.
Oh, is she? I didn't know that. No, I didn't. That's
personal life. She's married to Professor Charles Kelly. Let me see what he is. I have the impression that Thirlwall is sort of serious, doing things by the book. Yeah, Charles Kelly, King's College London, peptides, immunology, and microbiology.
That's interesting.
Peptides.
Professor at King's College London.
Maybe you might know them.
That is an interesting.
Let me find out who he's married to. If it's the same one.
Immunology, and you've got, and this is something that Jenny that found out that one of the areas of study of Stephen Breary is his specialist interest is in immunology.
Yeah, he's especially interested in that. Well, his hobby was neonatology as well, so he's
his hobby, yeah. Yeah. It's all a bit. There was. I don't know.
I was just looking up the composition of the Court of Appeal judges, and a very important role there is played by the president of the Court of Appeal.
Yeah.
Who is? So she's Lady Chief Justice. I mean, she's a bigger Lady Justice than all the ordinary Lady Justices, because she's like Lady Chief Justice. She's seen, and I'm sure she is going to play a personal role in deciding whether or not what the Court of Appeal, how it reacts to the CCRC report. And well, I can tell you that she was educated at a very posh school in High Wycombe, at Wycombe Abbey, just across the road from the high school my sisters went to, which was not quite so posh and didn't cost any money. And she likes music and outdoors. And I think she studied languages and law, I think in Cambridge. So she must be a good person. So I think she's a good person. And she has a reputation for being no nonsense person.
Oh, right. Okay.
Decisive. I mean, she's a power woman.
Wow.
Alpha female.
Alpha female.
Well, that's how I see it. I mean, she's an alpha in the sense she studied law and languages. So.
Oh gosh, really? So, it's
next round. I mean, they all these judges are languages people.
Yeah, sure. Peter Andre's wife is a doctor. We're next round was telling us.
Okay. Katie Price.
No, it's long gone.
No, the new one.
The new one. What was the song he did?
Behind the times. Flavour.
No, wasn't it? But
her father's also a doctor.
Yeah,
so his wife's a doctor, and her father is also a doctor, I believe.
Oh right, yeah. So he's a good guy, and other people have said throughout the chat that they'd like to know what other celebrities are involved, and obviously got Esther Ranson has been vocal about it as well.
Yeah, need some more.
And
somebody said in the chat we need. Who's the guy who owns X?
Elon Musk.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Wow.
If somebody could have a word with Musk.
Well, he does have a habit of just jumping on strange issues every now and again.
Yeah, but I think this one's it's just going to be too complex, isn't it?
Well, telling British politicians what they need to do.
Unless he kind of finds out through it, like something like through Amanda Knox's podcast.
Correct. That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
that's the avenue maybe for him.
Yeah.
But if Elon Musk,
there's always a political angle with Musk, so it will be if one of the institutions that's going to be affected by the Letby case also impacts him. So if he's upset for some reason with UK judiciary or the NHS or something, then he will time his post to disrupt that. But it will have to tie in with something like Amanda Knox or something like that, you would have thought.
Oh, there's a lot of unrest at the moment, obviously due to that Novak case, and some people are trying to loosely link it to Lucy Letby. To be something to do with race, but I don't think there's any of that going on at all.
Something to do with police incompetence, I think.
Yeah, well, more to do with that. So some people are saying, they're just believing JR because he's ethnic minority, but I'm like, he's as English. Like, I'm probably more, he's as English as anyone, isn't he? Just because he's got an Indian background, don't really mean anything. It's just not about race at all. It's more about police incompetence. So there's a sort of a loose connection.
We're just Tom's here. Just hi, Tom. I hope you're doing well. He's mentioning Tim Hunkin, which is the guy that's to do with the physics, isn't it? Is that right? The physics guy, Tim Hunkin. I don't know him. I'll have to look him up. But
yeah.
Tom likes him. Good to see you, Tom. House of Dragon, hi. A retrial would be a circus. I don't think they'll do a retrial.
No. I'd be very disappointed if they did, because it would just mean she stays in for another 6 years or whatever.
Why?
Because that's how long it would take, isn't it?
Oh, I see.
If there was a retrial.
Time delay. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not so sure it would. The prosecution argument now, all of it has been debunked. So if they were stupid enough to proceed with a retrial, whatever angle they come up with, it's not going to take 10 months.
No, I don't mean the trial. I mean getting to it.
Oh, getting to it. Yeah, I agree with you in that case, Mervyn. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there was quite an interesting.
It was very good that Lucia de Berg got a retrial. I mean, many people thought it's totally superfluous because it was so totally obvious, just like Lucy Letby before. But the prosecution decided they wanted to charge her again, and so the retrial was, very embarrassing for the prosecution, and that was very important towards the public.
Yes, that's right. And in respect of Lucy Letby, it's got to be made very explicit that there weren't any crimes, as opposed to it's an unsafe finding where there were crimes. So it's got to be made very explicit. So they've got to really do that, haven't they?
The beautiful thing with Lucia de Berg's retrial, after it had been through the CC, the Dutch CCRC, was that the judges actually concluded in their concluding statement, said, okay, we find you not guilty, obviously. That was obvious, but they went on to add a few sentences saying, basically making it absolutely clear that they knew she was totally innocent. There were no crimes. This wasn't just innocent because you can't be proven guilty. They had actually said that explicitly, which was very good.
Yes, it's essential, isn't it, really? And it would be essential for Lucy Letby as well.
Would be a good thing. That would be a good thing, yeah.
It's also essential in the respect that the parents need to know what the position is, and also needs to then move on to the stage of them pursuing the hospital and the care or the failures in care, really, as well. That's the another reason for it. Hi Dan, nice to see you there. Hi Nick as well, and Dan Coates here. Hi Dan Coates. Anton's channel is great. I forgot who Anton's channel was now. Oh, is this does anybody know? Maybe that was
Anton Petrov.
Anton Petrov.
There is good. Yeah, I think it's talking about that guy that I mentioned.
Oh, great! Thanks.
About this astronomy.
Yeah, Nick's talking about Dr. Lee's natural causes and poor care. The coroners, we see that they've kind of been almost like written out, haven't they? Of the, it's as though, it's weird, isn't it? Oh gosh, and we've also got
unexplained and unexpected. It's normal.
We've also got the inquests happening next year as well. So
is it next year? Oh yeah. Is it 2027? I think it's
June, May or June 27 or something. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was this. Oh yeah.
That's been put back. So you've got all these kind of, I don't know what to describe them, but they're
plates.
Like kind of spinning, Have you noticed the similarities between the nurse Letby MOJ and the Philip Peace miscarriage? I did read that a bit about that Philip Peace situation, and that was something that that Dewey Evans was involved in. Philip Peace, I think that's right, isn't it? Does anyone on the screen here know about the Philip Peace case?
No, I've not come across that one.
I think he was charged, and he's in prison now for causing the death of his own child, I think.
Is that the shaking baby syndrome one?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, from memory now. It's a long time ago since I read up on it, but I think Dowie Evans was involved in that one as well.
Has Dowie Evans ever acted as an expert for the defence?
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Has it always been for the prosecutor? Because I get the feeling that he's only ever he's basically getting paid to tell people what they want to hear, which anyone could do. I mean, I could be an expert tomorrow in any subjects if I had the government on my side.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I think he's mainly making money out of civil cases. So these are cases where two parents are fighting to get custody of a child.
Oh, okay. Didn't know
that. These are cases which are always held in private.
Into family courts in secret,
and which are appallingly unjust and terrible.
No one wasn't aware he got.
And you can make a lot of money out of them by guessing, probably by guessing who's going to win.
Yes. Sorry, Simone, you were saying there about...
I was just saying that there was that famous one, the well-known one, wasn't there, where the little girl got taken off the parents.
Yes. Yeah, the Bonnie... Bonnie and Linda... Lewis case, yeah. And
it would be good if she came forward.
Well, yeah, I mean, they
Bonnie's a pseudonym, isn't it?
Is it? Is that right? Is it a pseudonym?
Yeah, nobody knows what happened to her. Nobody knows whether she's still alive or not. I believe.
I've got some vague memory, and I can't remember what the source is. Is that Bonnie and Linda, the mum, they reunited at a later time, but it's obviously affected both their lives gravely. But I can't remember the source of that. But just to go back to the original question about. Dowie Evans is on record, whether it's verbally or written, but probably in interviews, of saying a number of times, I've appeared for the defence many times as well, or if not more. So he made that point, but the actual scores on either side, I don't know. You'd have to find out.
I didn't know that either, Mark.
Yeah, it was.
And in a civil case, you don't have a defence, and maybe one person accuses the other, one side accuses the other, but there is not really a defence and a prosecution by definition. They are just disagreements between two parties, but of course, typically one party is accusing the child.
And he's been involved in cases in Ireland as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So he's been around a bit, but I don't think he's doing anything now, is he? I think he's definitely. I don't think anybody would want to touch him now, would they? I don't know.
No.
What happened when he left Swansea Hospital is very close to that time when he misdiagnosed a child, saying that the child had an eating disorder when the child had a brain tumour, and within the space of less than a year, he's gone, and he's 59 years old at that point, and he's gone, and then he starts doing his medical legal work. But he had been doing some before, but he's doing that full time then.
Yeah.
But he also worked in. And this is from his LinkedIn pages now, it's by his own testimony. He also worked in child mental health, something called CAMS. It's a initial CAMHS, mental health for children. So he's been involved in that area as well, as a locum.
He was active on LinkedIn days ago.
Sorry.
He was active on LinkedIn days ago. There was some conversation about... I think it was about whistleblowers and so on. saying that managers should be. Maybe it was you, Simone, who told me.
Yeah, I think I told you about it.
Yeah, it was you.
Came back and said, I'm going to put a comment on, and it didn't get taken off, actually, did it?
No.
So thinking that it was going to get taken off, and I don't think it has.
No.
Oh gosh, yeah. Sorry, Matt. Were you going to say something in there as well?
No, I was just going to say that he could have been pushed to one side as a result of that case, but it's just as likely that he realised there was more money to be made doing medico-legal work.
Yeah,
because it's a very young age to pack in doing your day job in your 50s. I'd imagine that's unusual. I don't know, but something that takes so long to qualify for, I'd imagine that's it. It seems early.
Yeah, it is quite early, isn't it? It felt. I mean, I've always wondered what the link was to that misdiagnosis, and to what, in other words, did he jump before he was pushed type of deal?
Yeah, which was my original point, Mark, or was the pressure so much that he said, well, I can make 3 times this doing writing notes.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely, Matt. And as he says in the Netflix thing, he says, I'm good at writing reports, and I do it because it's there, and he does it. And
it's a good lifestyle job, isn't it? Let's face it. You can work from home. You can do it any hour of the day.
Yeah. And
it's a bit like my job.
Yes.
But you're on the side of good, Richard, and the other guy not so much. No, I don't think anyone would corrupt you. Richard, are you still involved with the French anaesthetist case?
I am expecting to be involved. Yes,
that's another case.
Yeah, his family is very involved, and his sister is a lawyer and is defending him, and his brother is an IT expert, and they are building. His brother is building an AI system so that we can, all of us working for the defence, can access all the documents very easily. Haven't heard from them for a few weeks, but it's probably going to be coming back one of these days.
So just as a quick overview for everyone on the screen and in the chat here, this is an anaesthetist in France who's been accused of murdering multiple patients. That's right, isn't it?
Yes, at a couple of different clinics where he worked, and it was all about quite old cases. So like suddenly people were digging up old cases where patients had died under what you call it, under being anesthetized, after being anesthetized, and somebody started doing some statistics and seeing more deaths than you would expect in a certain kind of operations, and this guy always being there. But at the time, the French databases for bad things happening in the medical context were in a terribly poor state. So the data that was very biased and very patchy. And it turned out that he had a very angry relationship with another anesthetist. Sorry, that's a difficult word.
It is.
So there were like 2 anesthetists, and they were.
It is after a bottle of wine.
Enemies of one another. So that was one of the things that was going on, and it was also clear that it was a pretty chaotic and badly run clinic, and so things were going wrong anyway. And it just looks absolutely like the classic medical case arising where many things are going wrong and there's a suitable scapegoat. And this guy was a suitable scapegoat, A, because he often appeared to be rather arrogant and too self-confident, but he also had had periods of deep depression and burnout and so on. So he was kind of psychologically unstable.
Okay.
Okay.
That's something that you're involved with, and you're going to be continuing.
Yeah, so I've got to know a bit about the case, and
Gosh.
I sent I read about it in the newspaper, you know, and
Yeah.
at some point I found the name of the lawyer defending him, sent them an email, didn't hear anything, did that again, and then suddenly I got a reply, and oh yeah, because like there was some very famous barrister defending him.
Yeah.
And that guy was much too busy to. It was very difficult to get in direct contact with these people. At some point, I did telephone, and then I spoke to a French receptionist who couldn't speak English, and my French immediately got very bad indeed. So
Yeah.
I asked her to pass on a message to the boss, the barrister. And I don't know. I think it did get through eventually. And eventually I got a call back. And I had a
Right.
Zoom meeting
Right.
with some of his family members, right? The
Mm.
guys locked up in prison.
Yeah.
And well, it looks just like a classic case. I've seen absolutely no evidence which is definitive, which is clear. And it's really clear how many medical experts are just sort of just jumping onto the there are medical experts saying you look at the statistics and you know this is bad, so he must be guilty, right? So
that usual thing.
these are
Yeah.
medical specialists doing amateur statistics without even hiring a statistician.
Well, it's a disaster, isn't it? Even Dowie Evans had an attempt, as Peter Elston lets us know. He had an attempt at some statistic work, even though he then later said it had nothing to do with statistics.
And he had the full roster, so that was great for Peter Elston. And Peter Elston and I are planning to do something together quite soon, because
Brilliant! So that's good. That's good.
Work to be done there, and Peter has got the data and ideas. He's more creative than me, and I just became a member of the British Academy of Forensic Science, and and this means I can more easily publish papers in their journals.
Great. I'm surprised that somebody hasn't focused, or maybe they have kind of made an offer to you to do a film about your career, as it were.
They have a long time ago.
They have done
that. I had a team come and visit me, and we went to the local palace gardens with a maze, a bit like the maze at Hampton Court, and they even filmed me trying to find my way through the maze with a drone. So that was very cool, but I never heard from them again.
Oh, that sounds a really good opening scene, doesn't it? In a way, like very visual.
Richard Gill trying to find his way and getting puzzled and lost, you know.
And that's the great thing about being a quantum physicist. You can be in two places at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. I should. Well, I know where the holes in the hedges are. Yes.
That's cheating. But look, but you know, I mean, it's going to be absolutely huge when Lucy Letby is exonerated. It's going to be such a worldwide story, and it's going to have so many reverberations. So there'll no doubt be people coming to you then for lots of interviews and things.
I expect that. I'm
resigned. It's going to happen.
And if anybody wants to interview me about the Lucy Letby case, I always say yes.
That's great. And there's a point here being made by the Next Realm. So Scott McLachlan is considering doing a Lucy Letby book, which sounds fantastic. His original Substacks going back to 2023, 2024 were amazing. And obviously we've got Chris Morris's books coming out next month, I
Yeah,
believe,
very
in
soon.
July. So
we're actually reading it in our book club in July.
oh, amazing! Oh, that's
I'm going to convince some more people. We were talking,
gosh,
Right.
no, that's incredible. So I mean,
where
that's
I
gonna
work, where I
that's gonna
work,
get a lot of traction.
we were
Yeah.
talking about it
Yeah.
the other day, and I said, somebody said, do you think she's innocent? And I said, yeah. And I said, in fact, we nominate that book when it comes out in July. So they've agreed to read it. So I'll feedback what the verdicts are when they.
Yes. Oh, that's amazing.
Somebody
Yeah.
somebody had a suggestion of taking the book and dropping it off at your local MP and book as well as book clubs as well.
Yeah, you
Libraries.
should do. Yes,
Libraries.
everybody who has
Good idea.
an local MP should do that.
Yeah, I've already looked up the address. It's only down the road from me, so I'm going to do. I've already emailed them about the case previously, so yeah, it's no sweat for me to do that, but it needs more people to do the same. And even if they don't read it, they will get the message if enough people do it over time.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Just drops of water wearing away the stone.
That's exactly what it is, Rich. Yes, very good terminology. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
that's exactly what it because there's going to be another wave of publicity, assuming the case gets Court of Appeal referral this year, which is what everybody thinks it's going to get. There's going to be a huge wave of publicity then. People are assuming that they have to wait for a 6-month window with the Court of Appeal, but and that's correct under normal circumstances. The same as Mark McDonald says, they will automatically apply for a retrial under normal circumstances.
Yeah.
There's nothing normal about this case.
No.
I think it might be fast tracked.
It might be faster if they're smart, because they'll realize that if they're fast, there will be less collateral damage to the system.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I agree, Richard.
Okay.
She might finally have some good luck in that respect.
Yeah.
to offset against all the bad.
It's about time. Like the Lucia Berg case, she was terribly unlucky, but that she got out of jail at all was terribly lucky, and that happened because of personal contacts and to completely coincidental personal relationships which happen to exist. So
Yes.
And also by coincidences of who was in command of what at what moment and who they told to do the next thing, things like that. So she had a lot of good, Lucia de Beck had a lot of good luck in the final stages coming up to her exoneration. Could have taken much longer, or it could have not happened at all, but it did. And there was a lot of luck in there.
My biggest fear with this, and I asked Mark McDonald about this, was that whether the case was too big to succeed, and his response was that no, he's going to make it so big that it has to succeed,
Yes.
and I would argue that he or whatever have achieved that already.
I agree. I think so too.
Yeah.
I think we're now at the stage where it is so big that it probably does have. This is balance of probabilities, statistics. Sorry.
Yeah.
there's no certainty.
And she's got to stay alive for a while.
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
The feedback.
She probably has more hope now than ever before.
And the feedback from the prison, if we, I'd want to believe it is positive. Is that she's believed there essentially, by.
She's in segregation as well, isn't she?
Is she? But
I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know if they have segregation in women. I just assume that they have segregation in women's prisons, and I assume she would be in seg because that's what they do with people.
She has this sort of trustee or job in the library, doesn't she? So which might suggest that she is interacting more if she's got that job, I suppose.
And she's playing Uno with an evil baby killer.
Oh, right.
So
Gosh,
we're told
I
by
think
the
it's
ever reliable. Is it Daily Mail?
because
yeah,
I'm
it's going to
sure
be
that
one
evil
of
baby
them.
killer is not purely evil, but you know.
Myers made an objection during Goss's summing up. It's done by sending a note to the judge. Jury's sent out, and the objection is discussed.
Yes,
Right. So thank you, Margaret,
that's
for
right.
that. And I'm very sorry to hear about your aunt as well. That was a previous
Yes,
comment Margaret had made, that there's a terrible accident there.
died
And
from smoking in bed.
yeah.
Well,
So,
that's
but
good because it proves that it can happen. So that adds to the chance of getting Kevin Sweeney exonerated.
Tom is making a yes, absolutely. Tom's making the point that the issue about the pajamas wasn't specifically a lie by Johnson, but just a bait and switch situation in which
Yeah,
he misled. You know, it was which arrest was he talking about? Which one was he
yes.
referring to? And
I
there's
think
also
if
sorry.
yeah, if that's in response, if that might be in response to what I said previously, I actually think Mervyn expressed my point better than I did. You know, there were lies throughout the case. The pajama one was the first one that came to my head, but you know, there was loads of them.
Yeah.
Well, it would be interesting as well to know what the body cam footage would be of the other two arrests, because there might be issues there that have come up in terms of what was said, what was being searched, what was happening there as well.
Well, I hope that she'll be exonerated on the grounds of the medical evidence that no baby was harmed by anybody except by incompetent doctors.
Mm.
In which case,
In which case, all the chit chat
it's
about the lies and so on is pretty irrelevant.
yes,
But
it just becomes a quashing of the verdict on the basis of
yeah,
there's no crime, there is no crime,
there
and
was
no
no
crime
crime.
occurred.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
irrelevant aside from the fact that this case has highlighted failings with multiple
Yeah.
institutions. And
Exactly.
are we talking about freeing Lucy Letby, or are we talking about fixing all of these institutions? And are they fixable? Because I personally don't think they are.
No. No, then
yes,
I don't think
what
you
you're
should
saying.
believe that these institutions are fixable. But what happens is all institutions evolve, and they're basically they're always in slow decline, and they're like evolving to get worse. And from time to time, there's a shock, and then there's an opportunity for a small improvement. So this is just an opportunity to make some small improvements, some small fixes. But on generally speaking, I mean, I think the British system has basically evolved in order to make sure that nobody who has actually got responsibility can actually do anything about things that go wrong. Right? The whole invention of the jury is meaning a bunch of people from the street are responsible if somebody for a miscarriage of justice. And you
It's
can hardly
devolved
blame.
responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
So it's all about making sure the blame is distributed, preferably far, far away from the people who actually should have the blame. And the systems are evolving to perfection this characteristic. And in Britain, this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah. So it's giving the illusion of justice.
So it gives an illusion of justice, and it gives a spectacle for the people and a feeling of involvement in important affairs. But basically, it's panem et circenses, games and circuses. You know,
yes.
keep the plebs happy. Make sure they have got some bread to eat and football matches to go to, and carry on getting rich off the sweat of their brows.
Yeah, it's the same as voting, giving the illusion of democracy.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
that's
doesn't
very
mean
true.
that voting is bad, but it's how things are. This is the human condition, in my opinion.
Well, I've been saying to anyone that would listen to me that that serfdom was abolished because it was considered slavery. Well, the higher rate tax band now is 45% income tax, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe we should go back to serfdom because we'd all be better off.
We'd be better off, yeah. We'd be growing our own food, for one thing.
The serfs only gave up 25% of their produce, I believe, some 30%.
Right.
Yes.
Gosh.
We're now giving up 45%.
45%. Wow.
Well,
At the higher rate tax. Yeah.
You're giving up 45.
a lot of us.
Well,
A lot of that tax goes to paying people who have office jobs.
I think Lucy, Justin Valverde says, I think Lucy was put on the stand due to the fact that it was the only card he could play because of the judge refusing, like the RCPCH report, etc. Maybe Myers was hoping to garner a mistrial.
Maybe.
The insulin certificates are now inadmissible under the Forensic Science Regulators Code. Are they going to try to bring them back as evidence? Would be nonsense. So Trevor's saying, thanks Trevor, that changes since would make them inadmissible.
Good news.
That's interesting. I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah,
That's very interesting. Thanks, Trevor.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that. So I think I might bring the stream to a close now. We're coming up to 3 hours. I think it's gone really well. I want to thank you all, everyone who's on the screen here. I'll retitle it, and I want to apologise for the individual that came in and said that. I'll cut that out. So I'll do an edit on that.
No, don't. It's funny.
It might upset people, and it's possible it might even get reported, and wouldn't want that. And I want to thank everybody in the chat and everybody who's listened, whether they've left comments or not. So thank you all very much. I think it's been a really interesting conversation.
Nice to chat with everyone.
And with you, Simone, and with everybody.
Thanks for everybody in the comments, because I saw Wesley Watley making a few comments mentioning me, so I've spoken to him on OMF. So.
Oh, really? Yes, absolutely. Yes, fantastic to see
some
everyone. Yeah, lots of names we know, and some new ones as well, which is great. Yeah. And thanks for everybody for all your contributions. Really appreciate it. So, going to end the stream now, and I think things are looking generally pretty positive. I think it's building up, isn't it? Positive.
Nice to see you all.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
I hope you'll do another
Cheers.
Mark. I hope you'll do another stream soon.
Yes, I think I will after a certain amount
I
of
have 2 more
time.
fantastic stories to tell you, at least.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's very interesting to bring these other things into the conversation, because there are connections to be made as well. So thank you all once again, and thanks everybody in the chat and everybody who listened, and
cheers.
All the best to you all.
Cheers, guys.
And keep watching the skies.
Watching.